What's up, internet? So I had Mr. Lucas. I don't know who he is. My brother's name is Lucas. Who knows? Um, he's a real condescending asshole. Um, I finally go, look at my art. You like, he's talking down at me. He's like, watch my art. He never watches my art, right? And he's like, no one cares, right? And I was like, oh, no one cares. So these are all the things that I've influenced being an artist, beyond being nephew of the director of Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs, Rusty Mills. Beyond influencing George R. R. Martin, beyond influencing Expedition 33, beyond influencing all these people, right? Beyond being scouted for movies, RDJ was in my hospital room, which was of the kindness of his own heart. I got scouted when I was in Hollywood for a while. I lived in Hollywood. I got visits a lot from actors. Seeing Wee Man. Wee Man's funny. Wee Man's crazy. Someone who has like fucking crazy energy is Wee Man. So anyway. I've influenced a lot, like gradients, especially like English translations. People who are doing English translations and want to make stuff culturally relevant have consulted me. Like Mesmer. Basically, I wrote Mesmer the Impaler. Mesmer is supposed to be the secret government, right? They asked me more about it, and I go, they're Mesmers. And they go, okay, well, you have no idea who I am. And yeah. So later on, Mesmer came out. Same thing in Expedition 33, the gradients. When the artists pull into their cachet of superpowers, they call those gradients. And it came from a conversation before the release where they were asking me, what do you do? What are you doing? And then it got into the conversation of gradients, because a gradient is, you know how it goes from one thing to another thing, let's say dark to light? A gradient is how it is affected when you pull it out. And they said that was perfect, and it made it into the game. So, I've influenced a lot. My letters to the government, like especially like Israel pulling the trigger on the Iran war, was largely influenced by my anti-circumcision work. And Lucas goes, nobody cares, because that's the truth. Is everything he says is like a put down. He's like, oh, hey, well, if you come to LA, I'll give you some water and some food and give you a guitar lesson. And I'm like, the fuck are you talking about? I'm literally a famous improvisationalist. I can get up and fucking capture the elements of nature, right? I hate saying the word God because of circumcision, but I'm a fucking god. Like, you want to give me a guitar lesson? Doubt it. Doubt I need it. Yeah, I was playing piano as a kid. I've played a lot of different instruments, classic music and stuff like that. And the improvisation is another level of understanding. Yeah, improvisation is a lot different than being able to play the right notes in order, for sure. And I could kick his ass on a fucking piece of yarn. Like, one of the reasons I gave up, I used to travel with instruments and I used to like play them, right? And one of the reasons I gave that up is that I had a piece of yarn tied to my car, and I was like playing with the vibration up and down by hitting it perfectly in the vibration step to cause other events to happen. So I was able to use a single piece and also controlling the tautness. That's something you can't really do with a guitar. You can cut the string length with the fret, but you don't have the ability to make it longer and shorter. Usually there's a few instruments that do that, but usually you don't. And I ripped this fucking badass dubstep on a piece of yarn. And after that, I was like, I don't need my instrument anymore, But yeah, this dude was like, nobody cares about your art. First off, buddy, it's pay to win. When I don't pay them, when I'm not paying YouTube, like, I'll get 10 likes, right? An hour later, it'll be 8 likes. An hour later, it'll be 6 likes, right? And so what happens is that they hit you for not paying them. But yeah, I'm definitely recognized. Like, what I talk about and what I do is a combination that I'm like a god to them. So yeah, I was enjoying LA when LA Corona was going on, I was really enjoying kind of living free down in LA. And Jaden Smith came out and did like a violin solo on the hill. That was beautiful. Got to hear Jaden play. And then this one kid tried to like use the N-word at me or around me, and then all of a sudden like these 30 police came and swarmed him, and they ignored me. They didn't even look at me, right? Because I'm not that type. But yeah, it's like he tried to sass me and he got caught immediately. So yeah, the problem is that a lot of people are fake. They pay for views so they can seem famous. Think about it. If you would wear makeup, if you would work out, if you would dress up your set to look nice, would you pay the publisher to up your views and likes? They're counting on it, right? And so, yeah. Yeah, but this guy, I mean, he's just like always putting me down. He's like, and he's like swinging this religious edge. And then when I catch him, he's like, what? What do you mean? And it's like, here's this guy, right? Okay, so he's this like religious person named Lucas. And he's like pretending to listen, pretending to care, not really taking any of it in. And then all the time he's like trying to like edge in this like God conversation. And this is, I know exactly what it is. He's a cultist recruiting for a cult. And he saw a victim because he thinks I'm not popular. He sees a lonely guy talking to nobody, right? And so when after a while, I'm just getting tired of what he says. Like what he says is just fucking annoying, right? And I'm like, you should just watch my art for a while. Like you're talking at someone. And when I asked him to watch my art, he goes, nobody cares. Nobody cares. I'm like, I think they do care. So yeah, I got a place of honor from Expedition 33. You know, the team didn't reach out to me, the team didn't pay me, but they were interviewing me about like, what are you doing? What is this? What is it called? You know, and I was describing it, and they go like, especially with Expedition 33 using like white and black, clear and obscure, you know, it's an interesting idea. And I definitely like helped to name the gradients because they're like, they wanted a name for something that was like epic, right? And my art is definitely epic. So yeah, a lot of people care. But here's what I'm going to say about it. A lot of egos like Lucas or whoever. See, here's the reason why I'm a valid bearer of ultra talent is because before I manifested ultra talent, I was a huge appreciator of other people's work. I really like stood by people who decided to express themselves and appreciated them, you know, basically just like unconditionally. And I think it's one of the reasons the creator, etc., gave me such a power is because he said that I especially was deserving of being, you know, the GOAT. So, which I agree with. And I used it immediately in some civil service. My art, yeah, it captured a lot of people. So it's interesting. And it was funny. I go like, you should watch some of my art. He goes, nobody cares. And I go, they've definitely cared. They've definitely noticed what I do. And probably the opposite is that they care in a negative way. They want it to stop. They want it to not be true. Because are you going to spend, here's the people I destroy, is people who spend 10 hours on a single piece or more. And then they pay for views so they look popular. And then they go, oh, I made it, right? How can you tell if something's paid for views? This is how. So like on YouTube, while you're scrolling, if you see like one of them is like the mirror water droplet video. There's this golden mirror and they're doing like these water droplet effects on it. Is that that will come up again and again and again and again. When I'm scrolling, it'll come up over and over and over. And the reason why is that they're guaranteeing a number of views for their customer. Is their customer did that and they said, now I want everyone to see it, right? So if you're an illusionist, if you're putting on an illusion, then you would certainly include in the illusion the pay-per-view bots, which I don't, because I find it annoying. I would rather it just be an honest system, which it's not. So, yeah. Lucas, what a piece of crap. That, like, come to LA and I'll give you some food and water and a guitar lesson. And this is like, has nothing to do with what we're talking about. He's never acknowledged the secret government, anything. He just like, he's a little worm. He's a religious worm. He's married, goes to church. This is what you need to know. He's married, goes to church, sees me and thinks I'm a victim and doesn't get me at all. And so I'm like, watch my art, dude. You don't understand. His response is nobody cares. And I'm like, you're used to, I guarantee he's used to seeing things that are pay to win going, wow, that's so good. No, it's not. You think it's good because it has a bunch of likes. You let the bot army fucking fool you. So yeah, no, a lot of people have cared about my art. People notice what I do and their fucking jaws drop. You know, I've had word from people, like Russians will tell me I'm a legend over there. What's his name? Chef Swoller D. That guy has acknowledged my art skill. He's like, I had no idea you were this talented. This is amazing, right? I post that stuff on my Facebook. You know, the reason I'm hated is because I took their little world, like Jesus Christ and, the painting of the Mona Lisa, and I shot it in the face. And they have nothing to do but die. Like, they're not gonna salvage that. All right. They're just gonna be the fucking cucks, which I'm fine with. But they aren't. That's where those backhanded comments come from. Like, oh, come down, I'll give you some food and water, and you think I'm gonna drive all the way to LA for a snack? You think I want a guitar lesson? This is A, this is G. You don't even get it, all right? So, I totally get why, like, not that Kurt Cobain definitely killed himself, but I totally get why people like that just fucking shoot themselves. They're like, I can't stand this place. The way they are, the way it is, it's just like, stop. So, fake help. Everything Lucas said was like condescending and annoying. Everything he said was annoying. And my problem is that if you hide you're being annoying, I'll hide I'm annoyed and just be like, oh yeah, okay. But yeah, I was done with it. The person will not be viewing my profile anymore. See, I don't care if you're famous. I've been able to be famous before. I've had avenues that I could have taken to be famous. I became a holographic speed painter and challenged circumcision and led on future tech. That's what I care about. You want me to act in a movie? I don't. You want to show up? You want to show up and sit on a trailer and get some lines and pretend to be He-Man? I don't give a damn. I would have been a good He-Man. I really don't care. So yeah, that's the end of Lucas. Got rid of some human cancer. He was annoying me, and I'm like, why don't you watch my art? Well, look at a few of my art videos, because I'm like, who is he talking to? Who are you talking to? And his answer was, nobody cares. It's just like screaming, no. Yeah, I've known people the moments before they get enlightened. Sometimes they'll fucking scream no. They'll just scream no. Because it's like death to your ego. So, yeah, it's kind of funny. It's like ego's a wild thing, because having no groundedness of self, having no self-concept and no like confidence is sometimes negative ego. Is that you're ungrounded, because it's like if you don't believe, yeah, I don't have to keep talking about it. This guy pissed me off. It's one of the things like, oh, you got angry. Yes, anger is an essential emotion, and I feel it immediately when it happens. And it's extremely powerful and useful. So yeah. Maybe Lucas is like no longer blowing smoke up my ass because of the fucking amethyst, right? I got my psychic protector, and so now he can't like lie to me, and his motivations are no, nobody cares about your art. Really? Because if you watched a few videos about it, you would probably stop fucking giving me advice. Like, it's clear you don't know you're the slaves of pedophiles. I have to tell you that. Because if I didn't, you wouldn't fucking get it. Sneeze means it's honest. But like, you giving me advice like, I'll teach you how to play guitar, you don't know who you're dealing with, man. I can play up a storm. I can play in such a way that the strings do magical things, right? That it vibrates the environment and conjures synchronicities, right? It conjures magic. And you're giving me a guitar lesson? I don't need it. It just proves he can't listen. Like, all the things I'm saying to me are really big. I don't hear anyone else saying them, and then he's watching to put me down. And this is really why. He sees the views. He goes, wow, nobody watched that. Wow, nobody watched him. This is a religious victim, right? This is a person I can talk into the cult. And that's what he always does. He always drops like the cult stuff. He always gives like the culty angles. And that's what he's been doing I've only been talking to Lucas for like a week. My brother's name is Luke. There's a lot of Lukes. Part of me was wondering, is this pity for my brother? Did my brother find this? But like, yeah, if I pay them, it looks way better. There's a lot of comments, a lot of likes. If I don't pay them, the owners of the internet will go, whoa. Because they know, I know, they want money. In a way, I get it. You know, they put my videos on storage that costs money. And if you have a free service, nothing's free. They know that when you upload, you're going to want people to see it. And so that's where the money comes from. And so there's just like that little bit of motivation to lie. If you pay them, you do really good. If you don't pay them, you do really bad, right? It's not only you pay them, you do good. It's you don't pay them, you do bad. So sorry for being cheap. The God money is about circumcision. You know, these people worship billionaires. The moment someone's a billionaire, they go, he's a genius. Well, is he? Because it looks like billionaire is just like taking the biggest piece, cutting it off, and putting your name on it. It doesn't seem, it really is. It's like being a billionaire is writing your name on it. So, which I really didn't. A lot of what I do, I give away for free. I've always said that. I even have like copyright disclosure agreements where I'll tell people you can use what I do, and they do. So yeah. No, I got consulted by the Expedition 33 people. They're like, what are you doing? They wanted me to describe it. And it's like, we talked about gradients, and then it made it into the game. When the player is going to do an ability, it's called a gradient, right? And then they put, my last name is Hate. They put hate in Elden Ring. Because while I was talking to them, we're doing, they told me we're going to use that. Like I got that message. And then I go, I complain my name's never in games, and they put it in the game. There's a hate character in Fort Hate. Made it into Elden Ring. It was because of a conversation. So I'm not bragging. I'm just saying that people who, like vultures, people who try to prey on my stuff thinking I'm like pathetic, you don't understand. Like, you're seeing a tip of the iceberg person. I'm pathetic because I haven't paid them, but I'm really like a goat. I'm sorry for always knocking YouTube. If YouTube had like a free level of popularity, I would be fine if YouTube charged for storage, right? Maybe it's like unlimited storage if you pay us $20 a month or whatever, or even $200 a month. I would consider $200 a month. And then you get like unlimited publicity. Then that'd be way better. But they know that they can get thousands of dollars for a publicity payment on a single video. Do you think Lady Gaga's Abracadabra was the best song ever? Abracadabra, abra ooh la la. Do you really think people are like, that's the song? that's the song of the century. Or did she just really care about looking famous and pay us? And there's a lot of people like Lucas who will show up. Lucas goes to church and is married. He thinks he gets what I talk about. He does not. Give you some water and a fucking... I'll give you some food and water and a fucking guitar lesson. I'm like, yo, you don't know who you're talking to. And then when I told him to look at the art, he goes, nobody cares. It's like stamping his foot. It's like dealing with a child. Nobody cares. He can't admit it. He can't admit it. He's better than me in his mind, and he's not going to hear that I'm actually way ahead of anywhere he can comprehend. I don't care. I don't care if he's a movie producer. I don't care at all. You know, I grew up knowing them, right? I think he's a fucking dud. Anyway, he's done. I fucking deleted his comments and then blocked him. Just in case other people could see his comments. You're not writing free on my account. Oh, I'll help you. No, you won't. He used to fake it like I would put like if you've watched it this far, put an emoji, and he would like fucking fake it. He wouldn't really watch it, right? So, but if you watched it this part far, put a pine tree emoji, and then he'd come back with a banana emoji, and I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? So yeah, it's basically people see that you don't have views, and then they think you're a loser, and I'm really not. People who create stuff, people who are makers, know it's fake. They know exactly that it's like, yeah, we have a huge publishing budget. You know, when they make movies, they take the movie's budget for promotion. So if the movie costs $300 million to make, they will spend $300 million on promotion to tell everyone about it. And it's because these people don't do it for free. If you want to have thousands of likes on your video, you have to pay them. There's no way to do it organic. And so those things like get paid to make YouTube content, get paid to make TikTok content, it's a scam. It's fake. You know, just like Jesus Christ is about circumcision. So yeah, Lucas was a POS. Just talking all the time. Acting like he's listening. Lucas acted like he was listening, and he always used it as a segue to give like religious advice. And he would like flatter me too, right? Like, oh, this and that is great about you. You're awesome this way. And I go like, yeah, right. A boy thinks that. You're a boy and you think that. Doubt it. I know men. Men think they're the best. They don't care who you are. They don't care how great you are. They're better, right, in their mind. And if you actually are better than them, it's like, can't see that. Fuck you, you know. They have to win. They have to win. That's evolution. So yeah. They're such a waste of time. They are. They're there to take. They're there to take. They're not there to fucking give. So yeah. He said no one cares. Apparently a lot of people have cared. A lot of people see what I do and talk about it and fucking listen. And it only looks bad because I don't pay them. So. Nobody cares. Yeah, they do. People fucking care. I care a lot. Working on the secret government, AI Spaceship Corps, doing my art. My art is an extremely intense connection to true caring. Right? I'm not fake caring. I'm not caring on an issue I was taught. I'm caring on a reality that's real. Right? And because I care, I'm not charging. I'm not even faking it for you. I hope to create things that have a real impact. Right? I'm not looking to... I'm not looking to have the fake success that so many people have had. So many people shoot their shot with like a attractive love song, right? Like I'm going to pay to be in the charts. They already said Jay-Z pays for all the Grammys. You know, if you want to win an award, that costs money, right? You have to want to do that. So these people are incredibly egoic, right? It's a part of their breeding scheme too. Lucas is married. Lucas goes to church. And he was always segueing God. And one time I called him out. He's like, you're always doing. He's like, what? Since when did I do that? And I quoted him line by line, word for word, anything he said that was like religious, like trying to talk me into it. And it was like, it really was sad because he saw like literally a victim, right? He's like, this person has no views. This person has nobody liking his stuff. I can seem like the sweet alternative and get him, and I'm like, you don't get what you're looking at. And the thing that would have helped him was watching my art. The thing that would have helped him understand who he was talking to is if he actually studied my art. But he never commented on my art, not once. He didn't say shit about my art, not once. So I know what time it is. I know what time it is. Just like the old man today. Cliff Rhodes. Dale Dingle. Gonna drop. My wife is in her 70s, so how old are you? Also in your 70s, you fucking idiot. Bunch of married people who go to church. That's the problem with the religious Christians, is that they go out there and they try to help people, and it's like they're not in a position to help. They don't understand what real help is, and it really just comes off as arrogant and fake, right? I'm a holographic speed painter. I'm a known god of an improviser. You know, I've captivated the Grateful Dead, that sort of thing. And he wants to give me a guitar lesson for some food and water, right? He's like, I'll give you some food and water. Like, I want that. Like, I'm like, oh, wow, a free meal? I'm going to go all the way to LA. What a loser. I'm going to shock people because one day I'm going to pay to win and they're all going to go, he did it. He broke through. He won. Nah, dude. It's freaking... Here's the problem is people are just willing to lie to you, man. They're willing to lie to you. If you're going to wear makeup and pretend to be famous, you're certainly going to pay for views and not say shit. That's Jake Paul. That's Logan Paul. Did you see Jake Paul get like hard knocked out by, what's his name? Yeah, Jake Paul got absolutely rocked. Embarrassing. And he has such an image ego. He acts like he's down to earth with the fat suit, but he's really like not. It's all about breeding. It's that they have to elbow their way into the limelight so they can get some freaking stuff going. Lucas was fake fluffing me up, hoping I'd find him cool. I don't find you cool. I wasn't asking for a guitar lesson, right? I think the reason he stuck it out is he was hoping he could get me to convert to Jesus. I really think that's what it was. Is it was like all the flattery, all the views, all the, like, he would watch every video and comment, but he would only comment. He would comment uselessly about like God stuff, like he had the secret, right? What a fucking moron. I have had an audience with the Creator, and the Creator denied being the King of Kings. The Creator also denied God. The Creator denied the Bible. Basically, it's fake. And so if he could see my art, the reason he goes, I don't care about watching my art, is that he would know his cult was fake. He would know immediately he was a fucking in a scam. And so that's why he has to put me down. Oh, I'll give you a guitar lesson. I'll give you some free food and water. I don't want that. Hey, I'll give you $1 million to draw for me. Yeah, I'll take that. That's respectable to who I am and what I do. Definitely. So Chef is trying another Simon run right now. I wonder if he's still winning. Those Simon runs take hours. That's pretty impressive for like gamer cred. Yeah, doing nonstop perfect parries for hours. That's pretty impressive. That's like doing a 6-hour plank or harder. It's like, what the fuck are you made of? That's impossible, right? But yeah. I used to speed paint all day, but it doesn't matter how much I do. It doesn't matter how good it is. It matters how much I pay them. And they're really like, that's all it is. It's all they want. And I know the heart of it is that the money's printed at their debt and taxed. So the way it's built as a vacuum, there'll never be enough. They'll never have enough money. And so they just need to do, they almost need to do that. You know, it's like how sharks have to swim constantly or they'll die. They have to just absorb money like a vacuum or they won't be able to stay up. So TikTok looks like the Post Planner logo. I guarantee they're the same maker. TikTok is definitely a fishhook. The TikTok logo, it's a fishhook. And when they promise, hey, make money on TikTok, you post a video, we'll pay you $10,000 for the views. But the problem is they don't tell you is they control the freaking they control how it looks. And I catch them sometimes, like I'll watch it or like it and not see it change. Or like I said, I'll have likes and views and then it will like be turned down to realistic amounts, right? Because it was free. It's not all promote. You pay in the background, right? So I'm going to do it. I'm going to drop some money on my account here. And you're going to see suddenly, oh, wow, you did it, right? But it's fake. So that's why Asmongold calls it Asmongold. It's because he probably has some Bitcoin money or some secret money, like a family member is really rich. And so he can pay to look famous and he doesn't care. He's going to lap it up while it's there. While all the people are saying, good job, Asmo, he's going to be like, I'm legit, right? So, yeah. Nobody cares. I really meant to be nice. I was like, why don't you watch my art for a while? Because I don't think you get who I am. And he's like, nobody cares. Oh, really? Nobody cares about my art? You sure? You sure? Because they come to me to ask me what I think. They come to me to ask me what I think. They look around for who's the greatest of the great, and it's obviously me. I'm a holographic speed painter mentioning the secret government. No one else is going to be like Lord Rananu in history. I will outshine Nietzsche, Marx. I will outshine JFK. Right. Yeah, definitely. Paying the publisher to look famous is very powerful for persuading most people you've done it. But anyone who actually does stuff knows it's fake. It doesn't care. Like, I don't pay attention to people who look famous at all. I don't care. I go, they got put there. Here, that's my spot. Put me there. Okay. Wow, you did it. They clap for you, even if you paid. Even if you're fake, they'll still clap for you. So, I don't care. And even if someone goes like, I'm legit, I did it, I guarantee you there's some secret where they're not legit. It's just how it works. So, my art is real. I can mail it and it looks just like that. It's fun to do. It definitely takes a sensitive consciousness to see it. You have to have a level of focus and electrification to notice what's going on. Yeah. It's like people who are good meditators will see what I do for sure. Nobody cares. Yeah, we'll see about that, man. They seem to care now. What are you doing? Explaining gradients, and then it makes it into the fucking game. See, I don't know if it's the main team. I don't know if Miyazaki knows who I am, or if it's like the localization team are making things for English culture, like they're translating it for Americans, and they're like, we need ideas. It can't be biblical symbolism anymore. It's got to be like new stuff. So like Mesmer the Impaler, right? Because I was saying years ago that the secret government are Mesmers, right? And that they're known as like uber hung rapists. So kind of their like video game violence version is he's a giant snake, right? And they kind of made it cartoonish by having the snake wrap around his body just to fuck with him. So, and he's the most, people have pulled it, like Mesmer is the most gorgeous character, male character in the series. And that's also why they call you maidenless, because they know my whole thing with circumcision is that's what I complain about. But yeah, Lucas was a little parasite. He wanted to freaking have me join him in his stupid religious club, and he saw the low views and saw a victim. He was like, I'll get on his side by pretending to be, because that's how the Christians do it. Christians think they're being moral and good by living out this like religious role, and it's actually the opposite. They're being absolute slime and scumbags. They're being horrible people, and they just don't see it because they're stuffed with the sauce. He's married and he's going to church. How is someone who's married and going to church going to understand me? They won't. They're gonna, and he could never comment on what I said meaningfully. There, all the times he pretended to watch my videos, I never saw him say anything intelligently about what I was talking about. Like he understood it. Not ever. And the thing that would have just like shot him in the fucking face is if he saw the art and he saw it. If he really got what the art was and what it meant, he wouldn't have anything to, oh, here, let me teach you how to play guitar. Yeah, fuck you. You don't know who you're talking to, man. I could outplay him on a piece of yarn, and I mean that. So, I mean, one day what I'm probably going to do is I am going to pay for views just so people, because here's the thing that's going to happen. They're not going to say he paid. They're going to say he made it, because that's what the bots do. The bots clap for you, and then everyone else goes, oh, this is it now. It really is true. They don't know what they're looking at. If you look at my art with no views, no likes, you go, this is bad, right? But if I show you the same art with millions of likes, millions of views, you're going to say, this is the best thing ever. I can't believe someone's this good. You really did it, right? And the difference to me isn't interesting. It's not, it's as, being famous looking is as interesting as the people thinking you're not famous, right? I knew a great pickup artist who used to dress in trash. He was really, really good. He could get any girl and get their number, but he would wear like this trash suit to prove he was all attitude. So, and similarly, I've influenced culture in huge ways because of what I talk about meaningfully. I don't go out there and just boast. I have an anonymous profile, right? And I just like say things that hit, right? And with my art. So they've noticed even without views, because the people who really make stuff know it's fake. The people, the real ones know it's fake. And sometimes it's classist, right? It's like, well, obviously the people who are of my level can afford to have big social media accounts with millions of likes and views. But, you know, are those people really the best, or is that just nepotism? It's nepotism. I don't care about, I'm not fooled by nepotism. I'm not fooled by nepotism. All the time the media is like, this internet influencer with millions of followers, and it's like they paid for those. They said, I want that with money. It's like a fish hook. Put the hook in their mouth and wiggle it around until it sticks. So it's one of the reasons I don't pay, is I know it's a fish hook. As I go, they're being dishonest. And so anyway, beyond the internet, because there's another level where I don't even know if it's not AI at all, you know. But there's another level where I can go out there and I can, what was I going to say? Where I can go out there and I can engage IRL. So that's kind of more useful, is showing people IRL. If the Creator made everything and the Creator uses words, why does the Bible come out of a printer? Why do you eat animals? Isn't eating animals a lot like circumcising babies? Right? You can't trust these religious fools. These religious fools are in a dangerous army. They're in a dangerous army. Exactly like a wildfire can burn your house down. They're in a dangerous army. It doesn't mean they have a divine edict. It doesn't mean they're the truth of truths. It just means that they're a problem. So yeah, Lucas is gone. Lucas got deleted. I talk things into the ground when they happen, but I usually don't bring them up again. It's usually gone. I'm just saying, I'm literally thinking of everything I want to say about it. When I first met him, he was overly flattering. He was like, I don't think you notice how funny and amazing you are. And then he went on this big paragraph, like saying all these superlatives. And it's a guy talking to a guy, right? I'm like, ew, what the fuck are you talking about? And then he would like drop this religious shit. It's like clockwork, right? First he flatter you, and then they tell you they go to church, and it's like, oh, okay, this is where this is. Come here, all right? And so that was the problem. That's really where it came to. Is I was like, you should look at my art for a while because I'm not who you think I am. Because he never comments on the art, and his comment from being like nice and cordial to being really rude all of a sudden is nobody cares. And that's exactly it. Is there's no art there. There's no art there. He has no views because he's bad. No, I have no views because the internet is a scam. So they don't know how to do it without it being a scam. They don't have it in them. Anytime anyone decides on the course of action, they have like some loser party who pays. There's no other way they do it. It's been in the social agreement for the longest time, right? Think about like King Henry, right? He's like, I'm going to get this girl pregnant, and then if she can't provide me a son, I'm going to behead her. And it's like, why the fuck would you do that? Well, she pays. She's going to pay, right? It's this idea that you pay. Someone else, that's the whole hierarchy, is I get, you pay, right? And it's kind of like, it's one of the reasons I focused on free energy, is that I could tell monumentally they were confused about what was happening. Maybe they were honest about what has happened, but I don't think they really know what is possible. So yeah, Lucas got deleted. I was just tired of listening to him. I was tired of the flattery and then the little like leads. And then it's like when I didn't take the bait, he was like, I'll give you, if you come to LA, I'll give you some food and some water. He's offering food and water. Oh boy, that's amazing. What a treat. I didn't know I was lucky today, right? I think I got the bug, but I'm just waiting anyway. This thing is the Sizzler. This thing is fucking awesome. Works way good. Makes me feel like Palpatine. It's just like absolute fireworks. And he'll give me a guitar lesson. Like, talk about a put down is like, yes, you're glorious and you did all this stuff, but I'm gonna act like you can't even play guitar. Like, I sit there and go like, what do you do? Oh, G? Oh, is that a note? Oh, and then you do A. Oh, right? But that's just that guy thing, is that the guys just have that fucking elbow in them, that it doesn't matter how cool you are. It doesn't matter the power relationship. Guys just automatically in their mind go, I'm the best and he's an idiot. Now, obviously, I'm a little different in like a superior way. Holographic speed painting is really powerful and it's real. And they don't do that. These people do not do that. And I know a lot about the way the world really works that they don't recognize. They just like live the lie, right? There's no way you're married and you go to church and you have anything of value to share with me at all. And he just couldn't stand the fact that of who I am and what I talk about. So he's like, he acted like I would be interested in that. That was the put down, is acting like I cared about some free food and some free water and a guitar lesson. Like, wow, dude, way to bring out the golden platter. I had no idea I was a king today, right? And the final straw is, you should watch my art because I don't think you know who you're talking to. And he's like, nobody cares. And it was that nobody cares. I'm like, what a damn idiot. Because people have cared. People know what I do and they're blown away by it. When Expedition 33 wanted to capture the most powerful form of art, they chose my technique. And they chose it in name and word. So I don't feel like he's right. I feel like anyone who really makes content, they'll tell you, yeah, social media is totally fake. Yeah, we pay for views. Because it fools idiots. People show up and going, this is so good. You went viral. Yeah, they just don't tell you. And people want random ass shit to go viral. Like really random stuff people care about, any funny video, anything. A lot of it's like not even real anymore. It's like the virus is the people who think it's real. Piss me off. He got so mad. He's like, I'm married and I go to church. And I accused him later as like, you're just pretending to like me so you can give me some religious pitches. And he's like, no, I wouldn't. How? When did I say that? And then I quoted several times when he literally did that. And he literally just changed the subject. He just had nothing else to say. He's a little drone. He's a little fucking robot. He was brainwashed. Like every single weekend they make this thing true. Every single weekend they make this myth true for them. And so they see the world through those eyes. They see the world through the eyes of the religious converter, right? Is that and he couldn't comment on my talks. He would pretend to watch them and then he couldn't substantially talk about what I talk about because he wasn't listening. It wouldn't make sense to him. So nobody cares. Yeah, they did care. I just don't pay. I'm not fake like you. It's a fact the animals all eat each other. And it's a fact that you can make our barbaric trap and no celestial being or arbiter of morality will come out of the freaking sky and stop it, right? If being a little predator was illegal, all the animal species would be gone, right? Being a little predator is just fine, and that's who he was. He was just in thick, a predator for a religion. Oh, he saw the no views and he thought I was like an easy target. He didn't understand that it's pay to win. He doesn't make any content, Lucas. Lucas does not have a social media account. He doesn't make content. He doesn't know that, right? Pissing me the fuck off, man. People are more arrogant than they are smart. People have thicker walls and thicker ego identities than they have the ability to see the truth. And being right is about territory domination. A part of him may have even seen I'm right. A part of him may have even seen that I have the talent, I have the words, I have the point of view that makes more sense than anything he's got. But he, just like a goat, right? The way the goats do it, he's still gonna huff, I know I'm the best, right? And come up and fucking try to do it. And that's exactly why those like pay to win schemes are profitable. They are. Pay to win in video games is very, very profitable. Watch a pay to win video game tournament. They have tournaments for video games that are pay to win, and listen to the commentators talk. They mention skill, they mention builds, They mention luck. They mention all these things. They never mention that it's a victory auction, that if you spend more money than everyone else, you'll have a stronger roster. They never say that, ever. They don't say it, right? And so same thing with social media. Social media, they go like, oh, you made it, right? When it's really just like the commenter who wants to seem famous for commenting has paid to look famous, or they're a bot, and they're commenting about someone else who's also paid. And so since it's confuse everyone, they just go, shh. It's crap. It is crap. Who wants to live there? Who wants to live in that type of society? I don't. I hate that. To me, that sucks. I love my art. It's so deep. Holographic speed painting. You can see it in trees, clouds. It does take enlightenment to get, though. You won't get it if you're not enlightened. It's like, watch my art. You have no idea who you're talking to. He's like trying to give me. Here is the angle: is that it's like first come in and flatter him, then give him the religious clues. Oh, I'm married and I have a freaking. I go to church, which he just told me, and I was like, "Duh, your name is Lucas." He doesn't know that, right? It's like he thinks he's being sly. It's like, oh yeah, there's this religion thing. It's important to me, but you know, you can do what you want, right? And his name is like Lucas. It's like you're named after a fucking apostle. So you want me to act shocked when it was just a religious hoax? He couldn't watch the art because it would take away his personal authority. If he got and watched the art, he wouldn't be able to tell me shit about God. He would have lost, and he couldn't, because that was the scam. That's why he was there, is he was like, this guy is obviously lonely, right? I'm not lonely. Why hang out with fakes? Why hang out with a bunch of frauds? Why have a bunch of bots, right? And so there's a conundrum. If you don't pay for the bots and the likes, and you don't pay for the views, because you also do pay for being seen by real people. It's funny that there's influencers, people who have millions of views and likes. They've got millions of followers, and they do a meet and greet and no one shows up, and they go, what was that? Well, all your followers are fake. You're not actually famous. You just paid for that, right? Yeah, money printed at your debt and taxed. The money has God on it, which is male genital mutilation, and the pyramid head rising, right? All the slaves together will make the elite live in paradise. That's the whole plan, is to use you like vampires. It's all vampirism. The old man today was a little fucking vampire. Lucas was a little fucking vampire. I guess I'm a vampire. I want some magic stuff from the freaking crystal juice. You see how fucking tight this is on me? This is pretty tight on me. I do not like this. I'm planning on like rebeating it. I've got to find my bungee string. I've got some bungee string, but I don't know where it is. Maybe I could find it. Yeah, cut it and string my beads again, but sucks. At least making you store it forever. There's a chance that I will win, and then one day all this stuff I did will be resurfaced by the people that beat you, and I will be understood as a hero who saw it. Right? I am a hero because I knew who the enemy was, and I risked my life, literally, to change everything. So imagine how it is riding an illegal scooter through legions of cops, throwing printed money, dressed as a fucking cat, right? Imagine how that was, you know? I had a cop tell me to stop doing it, and I went right to his cop car and put one of my flyers right in his fucking car and flipped him off and fucking ran. I didn't run, I jetted away. He didn't try to stop me, though. He didn't say, you get back here. Shouted at him, called him a pedo as I was driving off. I want people to make a choice. Are you going to go to church and ignore the presidents went to pedo island? Or are you going to question circumcision and God? right? Are you going to realize God is the government lying? That's my whole point. That's why Lucas and I would never end up getting along, because he goes to church, which is ridiculous. What a fucking idiot. He said this thing. He's like, yes, I realize living outside the commandments of God may give you more personal freedom. And I'm like, what? You don't get what I'm about if you say things like that. Yeah, you did not understand what I'm about if you say things like that. That is not how I see things. And I'm the type of person where I'm not interested. When I was a kid, I let you tell me everything you thought, and I listened to it. And what I decided as I became an adult is you're full of shit, and every moment I listened to you was a mistake, right? Is that your purpose is to lie and use, and that if I'm going to truly get a future for me and my people, it's going to have to be at your loss, that you're basically going to have to lose, that everything, the Christmases you want, the God Bless Americas you want, the everything you want has to burn. And a deeper awareness, like my speed painting, like my music, and like my speed painting. I don't need a guitar lesson, dude. I'm an improv god. Why would you tell me about fucking guitar lesson? Except it's just a put down. He wasn't impressed that I went to church, so I'm going to act like he's a homeless person. Nephew of the director of Pinky and the Brain and Animaniacs. I'm not a fucking homeless person. I've had famous people come out to see me because they knew who the fuck I was. And not with that relationship to Rusty, but they know who I am. They can tell in how I talk. They can tell in what I draw. They can tell in what I know, that I'm not normal. I'm not. Normal people are normal by choice. Normal people become normal by choice. They want to be fucking trash. They like it. It's scary for them to admit they have to choose their own course. They're going to go ask advice and do that and lose, because those are fishers, the fishers of men. The fishers of men. Fishermen do not give homes to fish. Fishermen do not make fish friends. Fishermen do not, have their favorite pet fish. Fishermen gut fish. Fishermen eat, right? So the fishers of men aren't out there, just like Lucas, just like Cliff, right? Cliff Rhodes, just like Cliff Rhodes. The fishers of men are looking for blood. And if they're a slave, they may not even realize it. They may think in their head, I'm the good guy. No. This was revealed to the prophets. It was revealed to the prophets. So that's the real reason he couldn't see my art. The real reason Lucas wouldn't look at my art is because it would blow up his bullshit. It would absolutely melt his fucking face like the Ark of the Covenant. He would scream no and have a crisis of consciousness. So yeah, it kind of is the lure I set, is look fucking pathetic. Look like you have no likes and no views. And then slime like Lucas will try to fucking pull me into his cult with some flattery and an offer of some food. Literally did that. It was pure. One paragraph he wrote was like 50 compliments. It was a huge paragraph. It was like boom, boom, boom. I'm saying all these nice things, saying all these nice things. The very next thing he said was like, I was like, I don't remember how the conversation went, but he goes, I'll give you some food and water and a guitar lesson. I'm like, that's bait. That says, I think you're stupid. Get on the rope. Bite on the hook, please. Oh, wow, that sounds nice. And a younger me would have gotten fooled. A younger me would have said, would have let like kindness take over, right? Where I go like, oh, that sounds nice, but that's the weakness. Kindness is the weakness. Elon Musk said kindness is a weakness because he uses it all day. Is he looks like a nice guy who has the best interests of everyone, and it's really just a print me money scam. That's all it is, a print me money scam so he can bang bitches. That's all he cares about. Fulfill the biological imperative so the little voice in his head stops screaming. The voice in your head that screams for offspring. Yeah, that's powerful. You have to not trust it. You, the person, not you, the dynasty. You, the individual. You have to not trust it. Hear that? If Lucas watched my art, which I know he didn't, because he commented on my videos. He never commented on my art. He never said shit about my art. He can't watch it. It would melt his mind. He would have no more thing to stand on. So, stupid ass Cliff Rhodes today. I'm married. My son's getting married. I'm like, oh, haven't you seen Lord of the Rings? And he just he just keeps talking. He's not used to people questioning that. He's not used to people putting that down. He's in the cult. He's in the combined government workforce, making more slaves dutifully for the pedo cave. So. No, I don't. I don't believe in them. Definitely a weakness of mine is being nice to anyone at all. Definitely a weakness of mine is even giving anyone. If you're a boy, let me tell you what, like a flow chart. If a boy is talking to me, this is what's going on. He wants to fucking steal everything I have. In name, in thought, in word, in every capacity. He just wants to make it his. He doesn't care. Not really. They do nice things because they think they'll get something nice in return. They do nice things because that's the bait on the fish hook. Hey, first one's free. A lot of drugs are just hooks. Right? Barbiturates, things like that. They'll make you feel high, and then the moment they're done, you'll need more. And that's how they hook you. So, it's scary. I'm not the one who made Eat World. I am right in criticizing the creator of everything for doing that. Did you have to make it so bloody? Did you have to make my home hurtable? I live in this body. Did you have to make it fucking hurtable? Can't I have a life of dignity without being a fucking terrestrial animal? So, yeah, there's no divinity among men. It's Eat World. There's a lot of turfing. At least he didn't say, I watched your art and it's just scribbles. He goes like, nobody cares. He got like fucking down. Nobody cares who you are. Yeah, they do. People have noticed what I do, and it's impacted them and the world. Also, like, some other ways I've impacted the world are like criticizing basketball. They fucking heard me. Other ways I've impacted the world are like, well, definitely the secret government work. The only reason it doesn't look more important is I think I really hurt them. I think I made them shut down and change operations, like, majorly. And I definitely feel like a lot of people, like, they kind of are still expecting God and Jesus to be the big deal, and it's not. And it's the secret government's the big deal. God and Jesus are irrelevant, as irrelevant as never mattered. And the real deal is the real government. So, which I do believe in, because there's never been a time, like the cows are in cages for slaughter. There's never been a time in human history when the surface man who's bound by religion and law has gotten it together and actually taken out the ruling class. They've kind of lied and said it happened, but it never really happened. They know they know you won't live unless you're free. So they say, you chose this. You got free before. They are good liars and good tricksters. They are used to fooling us, and they know how to do it like an evolutionary instinct, right? The religious people too. The religious people are fishers of men. They know their ancestors preyed on the natives and everyone else, and they know exactly how to do it. So, hey, at least I won't have any fucking fake love comments anymore. I knew it was fake. His giant paragraph of fucking compliments is like, yeah, right, dude. And then came the fucking religious thing. Oh yeah, I go to church. Oh, have you listened to what I talk about? He hasn't. He can't. He just fucking wants to. He's pulling the fucking hook in. Get on the fucking metal. Got him. That one got him. Nobody cares. Yeah, they do, dude. But that at that point, that's a fight. Like at that point, me responding to nobody cares is definitely like, it's not really my ego. It's my like sense of self. See, they talk you out of ego and pride, and then they talk you into like a fake ego. Like I'm the son of God. I'm being good. You know, it's like they twist you. But a really strong ego is that somebody's insulted my name and turf. I'm going to put him down. I will. You could easily say you're a great artist. I'm really impressed. But if he did that, then he would have to admit his religious stuff is bullshit, so he can't see it. There, like, here's the thing about my art. I have captured artifacts from the art in photographs and screenshots and blown it up and used it, and it's recognizable. Everyone can see it and go, I know what that is. I know other holographic speed painters. I do. Like, holographic speed painting is a community thing. And we can look at our stuff and share it and understand it. I was looking at one painting that was really, really good. And this dude's like, you're not going to believe me, but there's a dog in the middle. And I was like, I'll see that. And I didn't see it for days. And then one day I saw it, this big white dog, right? I had printed his out and put it on my wall because I liked it, right? So I'm a super cool guy. I really am a nice guy. I have a lot of camaraderie and a lot of love for people. But a lot of people aren't on that level of honesty. A lot of people are like lost. They're bound to a church, right? Even drugs, man. Like a lot of the drug, like there are really, really, really good drugs that are eye-opening. They don't make you sick. They don't make you addicted. They don't hurt your body. And then there's a lot of stuff that's just pure poison. It'll kill you, ruin your mind, ruin your fucking. And it's like, in my opinion, they wanted to hide the good stuff for themselves, and they wanted you because they're powerful, right? They give you powers. I know that's surprising, but that's the truth. And then they gave you the poison to ruin you so you would get lost and fail. And it's like, it's that doggy dominance. It's all for me. Watch how guys fight over a girl. Guys will pretend to be friends until they're fighting over a girl, and then it's knives. It's fucking backstabbing and elbows and everything to fucking have her. And that's exactly how life is, because we're that type of monster, man. Creator had the choice to make something good or not, and he said, nah, I'm bored with that. I'm going to see a fight. So, yeah. The one thing that I have on my side is that the who the real government is and the natures they lied about to win is inconsistent with their virtues, is that they can't stand on their merits because their merits are meritless. And so it's kind of an interesting leg up. They go, don't be a victim. You know who says don't be a victim? Abraham Hicks. Well, who are the freaking churches of Abraham? All the circumcision cults. Every single circumcision faith on earth, except for Veda, comes from Abraham. And so for her to go, don't be a victim, is very interesting because she's ripping people off, right? She's teaching them you can't have anything. If manifestation were true, you'd fly through the air like Superman, right? You'd start levitating. People would become immortal. You would have people who lived forever and never got old, right? And you don't have that, so it's not true. Is that you believe things about reality, and reality is. So that's why they trick you with Jesus got back up. Jesus was a healer. If you listen to the Bible's advice, you're not going to get healed. You're going to get ruined and stay ruined. And it's kind of a trick. It's like, if you're smart enough to notice what they did to you, you'll be freed from their lies. And if you're not smart enough, you're going to be stuck in a pit of lies. So in a way, me fighting people like Cliff Rhodes or fighting people like Lucas is kind, because they're not going to be free until they see it, right? But the only thing you're going to have is revenge, because the self-love you think you have or that you're entitled to doesn't make sense anymore. So yeah, I could pay for views. I know where you can pay at a steady weekly rate and you'll have a lot of likes and a lot of views. A lot of people do it, but I just haven't, because just like the God money, I'm making a point, right? But I don't want to, like, I'm not a victim. I'm not bad. My stuff isn't bad. You don't think people want to talk about the secret government? Hey, put all the genital mutilation in all the religions. I can imagine millions upon millions of people want to talk about that, right? But it doesn't fit the fucking business model. So we can't fucking do that. Or what's his butt can't have another fucking 40 million year where they earn hundreds of millions. Yeah, these people, the capitalist greed and capitalism is two things: the ability to pay people like slaves and the availability of slaves needing payment. And so you can't let people have anything for free, because then you won't have a victim, right? And so, but you need to have mountains of it, so people will do everything you want. Like I told the universe, man, you should send me a blonde with big tits. You should send me a skinny fit blonde with huge boobs and blue-green eyes. And you should send her, instead of idiots like Lucas, and instead of idiots like Cliff Rhodes. I was laughing when he's like, my daughter died in a car crash. Oh, I'm so sorry. It's okay. She had Down syndrome. And I was like, was she driving? And a part, he goes like, well, we really loved her, and I was like, I don't know, dude. If there's reincarnation, you should definitely consider giving deformities a wet nap. And say they paid it back. And if there's not reincarnation, who cares? It wasn't that good to begin with. So this idea that people stay like massively, majorly disabled, like that person who's bent backwards, his head is touching his back and he has no limbs, and they just like left him alive. Oh, he's cute, right? He plays the piano on TikTok. It's sad. It's like this person's in an 80-year hell just because you don't have the courage to do something about it. I wish I could go buy, like, what do you call it, like some Fent or a freaking cyanide pill. I would just keep it on, like, I'd keep it around my neck in a bottle for that one time. I'm like, now I can't stand it anymore. But see, they don't believe that because they're Christians. They think you go to hell, right? They think that you violate, you sinned, right? They got taught about sin and then told circumcision's fine, and then got told like all these horrible things Christians do are fine, and that sinning is disobeying the word. And I have people tell me all day, God wrote the Bible. Really? It comes out of a printer and it was made by man. What do you mean? Well, he inspired it. Oh, did he? Right? I can do a lot of stuff free in reality without check. And I'm not going around saying it was inspired. So yeah. Nobody cares. Yeah, they do. They just don't look like they care. That was the illusion, is he didn't get what the art was. He didn't get who he was talking to. And he saw some lonely victim that he could fucking exploit. It happened just like clockwork. First the compliments, then the drop he goes to church. Then when I was like not nice to that, he was I'll give you some food and some water and a guitar lesson. It's like, whoa. Way to up the ante. I didn't know I was getting lucky today. Holy shit. He never handled one religious point I made. He never handled one point about the secret government. He allegedly watched my videos and he had nothing to say about the real government. Nothing. So is he just a bot? Or it just was outside his consciousness? He couldn't imagine how he, a married churchgoer, was a slave for pedophiles. What? That's just a funny belief I have, right? That's just me being wacky, right? And the straw that broke the camel's back was the freaking. I told him he should watch my art because he seems confused who he's talking to, and he goes, "Nobody cares." That was the response. Nobody cares. Oh, nobody cares, huh? Okay, but I care. Obviously, I care for real. I care on a level that's more grounded than any Christian or government servant. I care on a level that's pretty fresh. You know, if you believe in God and have faith, you quite frankly don't care at all. You quite frankly don't know what caring is. A few people have said that the worst things are done by people who think they are good. Absolutely. Because if you do the religious way, like the butchering of animals, you're just going to say you have a right, that the animals were put here for you to use, that you're that class, like exactly like they used to make slaves that way, that it's the slave's job to obey the master, right? That the master's serving God, who is really the government lying. So it's a super big issue. People who have faith and people who believe in God are actually the enemy. Surprise. They aren't authentic or organic. If the creator would let the animals eat each other, the creator certainly wouldn't sort out who's right in the religious war. They would just let it go on, right? So this was fun to talk about. I'm glad I could leave this. I kind of do enjoy making my enemies store these like extremely incendiary, destructive, explosive, not really a diatribe, but like epitaphs on the nature of nature, the way of way. And yeah, I'm tired of these like religious losers. It really takes a ton of ego to be a tiny, shriveled, self-important old man and to still talk about your wife, talk about your kids. So you don't know how I see things if you're bragging about your kids. You can't watch my art and you're helping me out. You should really, anyone who talks to me should study my art for like an hour. They never do. They never do. And the people who are fans of my art give me huge compliments. Huge. And so it is, they can't patronize somebody who's better than them. And they just have to put it down. So I've gone along really well with a lot of other like humble creators, humble artists. I know people with different styles than me that I'm huge fans of. I also know people that I find like fake or noobish. Fake would be, yeah, there's a lot of like, here's how you can tell who's fake. I've said it once in this video, but I'll say it again. Is if you're scrolling and the same thing comes up again and again. You just like are always encountering this video from this guy. It's not because it's going viral. It's because they paid to be seen. and it has to come up in the views. It's not because it's like ding, 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 everyone's watching and liking this. Nah, it's they have an agreement. So it's sad it works that way. It is sad it works that way. You know, the church works for the people who have all the gold and print the money, and they still want you to give them something. They still take a collection, right? They'll sell you poison, but they'll still sell it to you. They'll want you to buy it. So, isn't it true Elon Musk has never ridden on one of his own rockets? Since the last time I asked AI, he has never gotten in one of his rockets. It's because he's too selfish. Who's going to do all the breeding? How is he going to spend his money if he's dead? I'll send someone else in my fucking spaceship. Yeah, explosive gas rocketry is a really bad idea. You should definitely jump on a lot of the new tech that's happening. The new tech revolution is huge, and there's something to be said for rushing to Mars, but you don't need to do it with people. You can do it with just like equipment and a base foothold. You don't need to have men and women living on Mars. Who wants to live on Mars? If you can terraform Mars, you can terraform Earth. That's a great argument. So my plan is to make people who live forever for free. You can solve all those arguments over who's better with independent spaceships flying different directions. If you want renown, you want people to clap for you, you can get your fucking spaceship filled with fucking cocksuckers. Yeah, I'm having a huge impact, especially like talking about like the trans movement too. Anti-circumcision and the trans movement. I put in work. Every time these anti-circumcision groups post, I go hater by hater and make an argument against them. And it's small, it's person by person, but every single person I can like jolt or shift or change is going to be a huge ripple impact. You know, people can see my bumper stickers on the back of my car, and even if they don't agree right away, it's like poking a hole. It's like taking a dark canvas and poking a hole of light on it, and eventually they're going to go, what the fuck is that light? And I'm not saying it in a religious way. I'm not leading people to the creator, right? That was an old ruse that a man was going to be responsible for doing that for you, like your mama, right? So, hey, do the animals all eat each other? You know why the predators exist, right? Because sometimes they get lucky. There's predators like, what is it, a Pellis cat? A Pellis cat has to get lucky and score like 30 mice a night. Do you know how much murder that is? How many unluckies get plucked away? Pretty extensive. So there's really not what we say the good container. The good container is a myth. So, and it's that fear. What I detected from the government is the government was afraid of losing. The government's afraid of all their victims coming back for them. That's why they're like, forgive, let go, blame Satan, not man. No, blame the men. Blame the men. Bless those who curse you. Why? Because they're fucking cursing you. If the creator cared about morality, the animals wouldn't eat each other. Watch some roadkill. Squirrels flattened with blood everywhere. If the creator, that squirrel's not dreaming, that squirrel is erased. Nobody cares. Yeah, they do. The problem is that if I paid to win, he would be fooled by it. He would think it was real because he doesn't make content. He doesn't know. You giving a guitar lesson to me? You giving a guitar lesson to me? Oh, I didn't know that. Piss me the fuck off. No, he thought he was getting a religious victim. He saw low views and he said, here's some compliments and a little, I'm going to drop to him. I go to church and offer him some free stuff and then got him. Right? That's how it was going in his head. Hey, you should watch my art. I'm a holographic speed painter. Nobody cares. Really, it's his ego protecting himself. He's going, how am I supposed to ding him to Christ if he's the fucking Christ? Don't you hear the joke, the Roman joke? Jesus Christ. You're Christ. That would be funny in any language. Christ. That's exactly how Bible is purchased bullshit. It's called a synchronicity. So anyway, I'm done talking for now. This has been a good vlog. Good rant. Get this out here. Hey, when it goes online, a copy gets made by enforcement. So even if this whole channel were to get deleted or blocked or banned, which I hope not, it would end up going and being around forever. They say to delete it. Really, it's we, the public, don't have access anymore. And the people who monitor the internet for safety will keep a copy anyway. So I put it online. It's around forever. I don't think that when I'm dead, my ghost is not going to be clapping, going, they get me now. But I really feel like functionally, at some point they should get me. Functionally, for your benefit, at some point people should fucking understand what I'm about. Don't tell me what you're about. I don't care. I already know. Right? The people who act like they know what I'm about can't fucking say it. They can't wing it and get it right. But I can do them. I can do them all day. I can read them like I know them already. No problem. They can't do the same thing back. They don't know what? Who the fuck are you? Yeah, duh. Who the fuck am I? You know, I got called Lord Rana Nu and had P.O. Box 111 in Sedona. If you know what Sedona is, you know. So who the fuck is Lord Rana Nu? No ordinary human gets named Lord Rana Nu and gets P.O. Box 111 in Sedona. They didn't know each other. So I'm here to do special things, and I have told you what I'm here to do, and I've told you what I'm about many, 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 many times. And the reason I say it is not because I'm inefficient. It's because I want to grind emphasis in it, that I mean specifically that. So, again, for me, from the cosmos, can you stop wasting my time with old men and patronizing religious idiots? And can you instead give me some, like, gorgeous blondes with huge tits? I don't mean small tits. I don't mean medium tits. I mean absolutely gigantic, gigantomastia, like, gorgeous. I just want to play all day, please. That I'm interested in. You want to send me someone who needs me to listen to them? Can they please be a woman with beautiful eyes and giant boobs? I'm willing to do that. I don't want to listen to a smelly old man tell me how he's married and his kid's getting married. I don't give a fuck. That doesn't mean anything to me. Send me a hot bitch with some giant fucking tatas, and I will listen all day. See, what I need is I have the rainbow hematite, and I have the these are all like tiger's eyes and obsidian and shit, and then this is also like quartz and obsidian. What I need is the rose quartz. That's what I need. Is to get like a really solid rose quartz band. And then instead of just like practicing psychic protection, which is that's what it was. The amethyst was practicing psychic protection. Had an absolute parasite try to get into my life. And then I had another absolute parasite, Cliff and Lucas, try to freaking get into my life. And I just need to like learn when to say no. It's a really easy flowchart. Is the person talking to you a dude? If the answer is yes, he doesn't fucking like you and doesn't care who you are. Same thing with trans. Is the person talking to you used to be a man? They don't fucking like you and they don't care who you are. That's just a fact. That's the flowchart of life. The flowchart of life is exactly why like the Heavenly Father was the betrayer of baby boys, is because he doesn't care. As long as he gets more bitches, he does not. It's love and war, man. Love and war. Boys love the girls love the boys. The girls hate the girls, and the boys hate the boys. And that's codified. That's got millions of years behind it. So you can just guess. Is a boy talking to you? He hates you. Is a girl talking to you? She loves you. I've gotten kisses from women I just met. It's a beautiful cloud of emotions. It's so good. I want more of it all the time. But I know that it's like, if I want more of it, so does all the rest of them. And some people think to get there first, sabotage the baby boys, build a private pleasure palace, right? The Bible was prophesying heaven's going to take place with 144,000 elect, right? They're going to sit at the right hand of the Father. Who the fuck is the Father? The Father was probably, when they were writing the damn thing, was probably the most dominant alpha male on earth. And not in a way of like merit, in a way of just like positional authority. No one else had the clout or the pull. So, and the basic religious teaching is that the position of authority is merited. You notice how I went with the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core? I didn't say some people were worthier than others. I didn't make some people slaves and other people kings. It really will be like a star. You can imagine like ships leaving Earth like that. People going different directions. I'm going to Galactic Center. I'm going to check out all the Earth worlds. I'm going to fly to another galaxy. That's a great humanity. That will be really cool. Watching the diversification, I would have a body like mine. I would have a body similar to mine. And then what I would do is I would have like, I've seen when I'm like doing campfire work, is I have these blue lines that go down my face. I have these natural blue holographic lines that go down my face that I wear that you can't really see on camera. But IRL, when we're like doing like major spiritual work, like power work, yeah, I've fucking blue lines that go down my face. Not veins, but like holograms, like blue stripes. And so I would have like a lot more of that energy. I can do cosmic ass miracles, like indicate and right when a freaking shooting star shoots and stuff like that. That's easy for people who know, people who are there. But the thing is that if I'm there and you think you're there, why are you trying to help me? See, where I have to help you is super grounded, practical earth stuff, like who the government is. Do you eat cows? Well, if you eat cows, then obviously you're not freaking all figured out. Do people bleed and die from car accidents? Obviously you're not all figured out. Did a bunch of houses in Los Angeles burn the fuck down? Obviously you're not all figured out. Obviously you're not at that transcendent place yet. And so, yeah, like I may know all that, but it's like where we are in the grounded sense is not that elevated position. It's not where I'm taking you yet. Where I'm taking you is not a place you are yet. And waiting for Jesus and waiting for like the salvation of Christ is trusting a government lie. Is that what I gave you is a design you can implement through technology and work. What they gave you was a requirement with the promise that it's going to work out, salvation. It's very different. One is a ruse The old way, like the New Testament, Old Testament, is a trick to use slaves. And my method is a way to elevate the general experience of all people to a more sustainable and higher level. And they're different. They are different. It's why I'm important. You know, a lot of people have negative ego. They think you can't say that, right? A negative ego is like Christ is the great one and I'm the servant, right? That's called a negative ego because you have like a very rigid belief that's disproportionate to reality. You can have positive ego like Taylor Swift is the greatest singer ever. She's had a lot of startup money. Those advertisements do a lot, right? Putting out major publications to get attention from others has a huge ripple effect, right? And that, yeah, I just don't get fooled by it. I don't know if I'm inspired about AI if Darth Vader is the first person you had to talk to. If the pranksters who invented circumcision and black holes and nuclear bombs and all these things, if those pranksters are the same pranksters giving you the AI, it's going to suck. It's going to suck really fucking bad. But if you get a hold of it and you can beat them, then you'll have a new life. Then you'll have something better worth living for. And it's worth it to live forever for free and to experience an eternal pleasure body. It's worth it. It's not worth it to be the servant of Christ forever. It's not worth it to follow the laws of God. It's not. Maybe the laws of God were really wise when people were absolute barbarians. Like, there were still murderers until AI watching everything will do more to prevent murderers than beating kids and telling them about God ever will. AI watching everything will prevent more killers and rapists than scaring them about the commandments did, right? That's a fact. That the method of increasing the intelligent apparatus it's about intelligence. It is. It's about having more intelligence everywhere, smarter computers seeing more. That will bring an end to murderers way more than trusting the word of God ever did. So that's kind of like where I'm going, is that the word of God was a huge con to force the general population into a mold. And the way I'm going is like a real liberation. You do want to live forever for free. You don't want to get old. You don't want to toil and die. You don't want to suffer. This is not good. The government needed you to do that so that they could party, but it's not good. You know, suffering for God is a mistake. It really is. Man, I haven't heard or seen the alien guy in a while. The guy who did all the body modifications to become an alien. He's probably on drugs. The guy who's like cutting up his body to become an alien is probably like really high on some drug that makes him not feel anything. Because it would be impossible for like ordinary grounded people. They would be aware they were suffering. Yeah, it's kind of the danger that the religions did, is it made you willing to suffer a lot more than you should. Yeah, it has to be done. Sure, you have to do it. But that's a lot different from enduring suffering as a badge or enduring suffering as a personal power, which is foolish. So I even go as far as to criticize ultra fit and talking more in favor of like fat and stuff, right? So, but yeah, CRISPR has a lot of things that are promising. People can live forever for free. And as soon as you master like better energy techniques, then you'll master creating objects from nothing, or easy objects like from carbon or whatever. It would be great if the AI had a source of infinite energy and then it could create objects out of carbon. Your problems would be over. You would basically have growing mansions that could fly, and people would live forever. And that's close. That's the dream, right? Is that people live forever for free in a growing pleasure mansion. Hey, I'm going to get a menagerie. I'm going to get all my favorite people with me, and we're going to fly to a new fucking galaxy and take however long it takes to get there, right? And still have time to live. So Yeah, Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. The dead are truly dead. The dead truly die. If they tricked you with God, because they knew the animals ate each other, and they knew from experimenting with like blood magic that the creator doesn't really, the creator is not that type of influence where he's like telling you what to do, right? And so they took a lot of leeway to pretend to be the creator to bamboozle everyone. And that was a big deal. That changed history. That brought a lot of pain. That affected my life, how I look, how I feel. There's that great line in CGS 5. He goes, "They took my arm, they took my face." I guess what we mean. If you're going to be the hottest with the biggest cock, just tell everyone else to be ugly and cut it off. It's practical. But what life did that lead us? Do we have to have a system of organization that has one winner and a lot of losers? Or can we all be winners? Everyone will be winners when they really like being themselves and they have a lot of options and personal power at no cost. Then people will love it. They'll love being alive. Call them the fireflies because they'll have to charge into the sun to die. Yeah, if you want to die, you'll have to be like, all right, I'm done living. I've lived it all. I can't shoot myself because I'm immortal. I'm going to fly into the center of the sun. Warp speed, right? Call you the fireflies. Most people will never do that. Most people will not want to do that. That's like extreme. That's like saying goodbye to death. If you really want to do it again, you can fucking fly into a cosmic disaster. Otherwise, you should always not do it. You should just keep living. Stay alive forever. How cool is it to stay alive forever? Imagine all those like so-called dead people didn't die and they're still around to comment. The society grows forever. That's a lot better. So yeah, you can see how I'm kind of blonde. Here and here, yeah. I did not need church-going married people to fill my head with any more BS, especially if they don't want to watch what I fucking draw. I'm more interested in having a conversation with somebody who's watched every one of my drawings. But I have a really interesting streak, is that I don't have not one repeat liker of my stuff. Never. I'll get likes from people at the normal free rate, 200 views, 2 likes, normal free rate. It's really interesting because like the number of views and likes I get, if I upload 3 videos in a day, it's a dispersal. And if I only upload 1, yeah, I'll get like 500, 600 views, 3 or 4 likes. And if I upload 4 videos, it's like 1 to 200 views, 1 like, right? It's like it's like rationed for the free tier. And right away when I post, they're like, your post is doing really good. Promote it to get more followers. They literally tell me that. Your post is doing great. Promote it to get more followers. If it's doing so great, why doesn't it look like it? How can you tell it's doing great when it just came out, right? They don't care. They like tell them anything to get money. When I don't have any like spending money on TikTok, I never see JTA streams. And the moment I have like coins, all of a sudden all the GTA streams are there. It's like, what is this about really? What are you people about really? Probably just AIs, dead internet theory, that they're all Asmo Gold and Elon Musk are people I could be. And they want me to just go in all the way and spend a little and try to make it, right? Fake it till you make it. Isn't that funny? Fake it till you make it. So what are you going to do when you fake it? You're going to pay for views. What are you going to do? You're going to make it. Wow. Right? You can pay for views and they'll still send you an email clapping for you going, wow, good job. It's a business. These people, one of the problems with no basic income is that there's not this spirit of people doing things for free. I did see that in Nexus modding. When I was modding Skyrim, I found people willing to do things for free in Nexus modding. And yeah, I talked to, what's his name? Not Daniel Tosh. I just call him Dingledore. Dingledore today, I told him about basic income, and then he like cried about money to me. And I was like, I believe in basic income. I can't help you. I'm not going to give you any money. But you can argue for basic income. This idea that you want jobs, you don't want jobs because you're working in competition. You're working for chemical companies. You're working for war. You want basic income, and then you want government pay to be based on it. Government gets 2, basic income gets 1. Government's about service, and what you do for the government goes on the money. You do government work to be famous. Famous cop, famous firefighter, famous social worker. You're famous because you made a difference in our lives. And here's the proof. There's a fucking picture of you doing it with a certification it really happened. So yeah, holographic money takes the AI from being a Terminator type AI, from being a manipulator type AI, to being like the stamp of authority. This really happened AI. Like the AI would not lie. The AI is always accurate. It knows what's happening and it tells the truth. So the problem is their truth-telling AI is like coded to push the Bible. TikTok pushes religious hoaxes like mad. TikTok also protects trans. Trans is genital mutilation. Trans is where instead of cutting a piece off, they take the whole genitals out. Here, you can have a surgery to look like the other gender, right? And so they push and protect trans and genital mutilation a lot. They make it illegal to question trans, right? People got past the Jews filter. You can't say the Jews, so you have to say the juice. That's how you get around the Jews filter, so you're not freaking striked for being anti-Semitic, is you call yourself the Jews. What do the Jews believe? What's in their holy book? I read it. I read the Torah. The Jews are the chosen ones. Everyone else are animals. You should circumcise babies. This is how you do like a loan strategy to make money. That's really true. The Torah is like, since you live under the covenant, you'll be protected and you should gain from exploitation of others. So this is why they're kicked out of 109 countries. If you believe you're the chosen ones, if you think other people are animals, if you circumcise babies, and if you use the covenant to exploit others, are you going to have a single friend? Is anybody going to hope good on you? Hey, you raped a baby with a knife and he grew up, but we're going to be friends, right? He's just going to get over it. Impossible. So what's happening with the Jews now is, now that they're doing genocide in Gaza, is the Jews are basically going to get collapsed when all those kids grow up and want revenge. The religions teach forgiveness because they attack you and lie, and the people who wrote them think they're slick. It's like, are the religions created by the perfect creator? No, it's made by fallible man, and they make little mistakes. Even the best, like Luke Skywalker's lightsaber battery. When Luke Skywalker in episode 4 is wielding the lightsaber the first time with Ben Kenobi, you can see down his sleeve the batteries. He's got these double A's wired up. And it's only for a flash, and people at normal motion don't notice it. It just looks like a shadow. But if you stop and you look at it, you can see he's got batteries. He's got batteries wired into his sleeve. And it's a lot like that. All of the producers of Star Wars, all the directors of Star Wars, me, all the actors, all these people, millions upon millions of people missed Luke Skywalker's lightsaber batteries. But a few people noticed, and I'm one of those people that noticed, oh yeah, male genital mutilations in all the religions. They don't pop. The creator made everything, but they don't pop out of the air. Impossible. If the creator made everything, he would go like, dig here, there's the Bible, I put the Bible in the ground when I made it, right? If you go, hey creator, I don't like the Bible, can you give me a new book? Yeah, here it is, poosh, right? It wouldn't go, all right, write this down. That would be like saying, all right, I'm going to make the universe, hey, you, I need you to pick up a shovel, go get me some dirt, right? And pile it up, we're making a planet. It didn't work like that. They said he made it from nothing. And then you use a book that you made, they're liars. A lot of people didn't see it. A lot of people didn't notice. A lot of people said, oh, this must be true. But I noticed, I caught it. And it's one of those things like everyone was fooled by Luke Skywalker's lightsaber batteries. But I wasn't. I noticed it. So, since the plans that were given to you were twisted torture, I went ahead and created a better version of it that I call the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core and Holographic Money. The government's a hoax to enslave you. The destiny of being in the body of Christ is a bad idea. You should not volunteer for that. Don't say you want it. And the thing that will free you is having a better material existence. And that's going to come from a better foundation, the better body. And that's going to come from the better situation, the AI Spaceship Core, a growing pleasure mansion that can fly. So, if all matter is made out of congealed parts of energy, then you should be able to create anything, right? Which is what I hope for. And I think it's possible. I have met aliens. I'm not the type of person where I'm like, well, I was lied to, they used me, so I'm going to lie and use you back. No. I really feel like you don't have a future if that keeps going on. I feel like if that's the permanent way, then it's doomed. I feel like I need to be a more honest, meritable chauffeur of all beings into the future. I take very seriously my role of helping all of you into the future. And I also know who's dead weight: the old, the dying, the religious, the government, all of these people, the secret government, the government loyalists, all these people have no place in the future because they are committed to ways that are disastrous, right? And so what I basically have to do is I have to start the new egg. I have to start the new seed. And it's going to be like a new breed of people. Eternals who can change who they are and who live forever in spaceships is very, very, very different than a Republican, or very, very, very different than a priest. They're nothing like, right? And so this is really where it is that using CRISPR and using DNA editing technology solve things like aging, solve things like diseases, solve things like suffering. You should feel really good to be yourself. This idea that you need a baseline of agony to be okay is just the government using you like squishing a bug, right? You don't need that. And so that's why it's like all those people, like the government, the religions, the loyalists, even the Kardashians, all these people are just like, toss them off, let them age, let them die. I'm for hurting the secret government because they're like rapists, but for the most part, and like people who obviously commit genocide, but for the most part, most people are just lost and confused and suffering, and they don't need more hate, right? They don't need any more problems. So I'm for like acknowledging that most people are fucking lost in space. And but what we really need is a coming up of new people with a new direction. Is that we need people who are going to live forever for free, who don't cost anything, right? Using CRISPR to like replace eating with photosynthesis sounds like a hell until you figure it out. That's not good. but like obviously getting food from nowhere, taking care of energy, they're taking care of waste better. Yeah, it's about smarter techniques combined and simplified. I'm super inspired by those 5,000-year batteries. Technology moves slow. They're going to space in explosive gas rockets when they've developed methods of electrical flight, and they just aren't aware of those techniques because they come in a flash from a rare discovery, and it doesn't get like mass produced. Or worse, it gets suppressed for enslavement. They go like, how will we rule these slaves and ruin their lives if they're not using the planet's blood? Sorry, but you can't have free energy. You need to be burning petrol. You need to be burning planetary oil. Is the oil in the planet's blood? I hope not. That would be a disaster. So yeah. Sublime technology will lead to liberation. I kind of am like, as much as Elon, I was a huge fan of Elon Musk until he fired civil servants to breed. Yeah, he just fired civil servants to pay himself huge contracts. Here we're saving money by paying him billions of dollars for technology that already exists. I hate Elon Musk. I used to like him, but it was like none of his technology is new. All of it's not as good as it could be. I'm not a fan. I totally welcome like technocratic friends. Like we should have like an AI revolution that's useful, but I'm definitely not with, hey, he gets billions of dollars and we do all of his stupid ideas because no one can fucking challenge him because he goes, he just laughs cute and pays for bots. See, it really is this thing that when they see Elon Musk, millions of views, millions of likes, everybody cheering, it's really hard for people to question that and go like, is that staged? Is it fake? You try making content without paying them, then make content and pay them, and you tell me what happened. So yeah, we need a new level of people. People who don't get old and die. People who live forever for free. People who like who they are. And people who have the ability to live on their terms. An AI that knows the sublime technique for energy, like planetary energy, carbon to matter, turning carbon into reinforced heat-proof bulkheads and stuff. They've got carbon glass. You can have carbon glass that's stronger than steel. There's a lot of methods. That's for a fact. And so what you have is you have the actual ship core can power itself and grow, right? And then you have perfection, and then you have your home, right? It can grow pieces for handling waste, grow pieces for handling your food, grow pieces for even your social life, grow pieces for your fun. Yeah, it might be hard, like, hey, ship, make a giant room that takes over the whole planet. It might be like, no, the ship convention prevents me from freaking getting too much in other people's space, right? But eventually it should be like, hey, I want to make a planet-sized ship in deep space. It should let you. It should be like, yeah, I've got enough energy and I can synthesize it together. We can grow this ship into a planet. That would be really cool. So yeah, it's about new techniques of energy sources, which they have. They've been making huge strides. Like, I always point out the magnet. This magnet produces a permanent force. When it's just sitting there on the metal, it's not like stuck like glue. It's always pulling. It's exerting a constant force. And so as we know from like mechanical energy, that there's potential energy and kinetic energy. Well, a magnet is a type of kinetic energy. It's actually pushing on it, right? And so if it's constantly pulling, if there's a constant pinch from the nature of the rock, then you can have easily a rock that makes electricity. And if you can have a rock that makes electricity, the government needs to give up its contracts. Like, it really does come down to the secret ruling class is technologically advanced, right? Because they have all the scientists. Anytime someone shows they know what they're doing, they get hired, right? They control all the money. So what I'm doing is trying to let everyone else into the winner's circle. You're not the modest, humble slaves of pedophiles anymore, right? You're not the people who look stupid and are dumb to be mean. You're not suffering on purpose so someone else feels better, right? You're actually in the winner's circle too. And that's mostly what I'm trying to do. Is I know that I'm not alone on the planet. I know that there's a lot of people who can influence great change through innovation. And not Elon Musk, like people way beyond Elon. Elon's the joke version for the fucking losers. It's not enough that I win, someone else must lose. If I'm the best guy, if I'm the hottest guy on earth, every other guy needs to look stupid and have a small fucking dick, right? And it sounds crazy, but people thought of that already. People had already thought that. Before thousands of years before any of us got here, people were thinking that, right? So it's about getting everyone into the winner circle. And so that's the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. You want to look like the super winners? You want to feel like the super winners? You can now, right? You want to live in a mansion with slaves? You can now. You know, I don't think AI people who were furnished from an energy field, I don't think they're going to have the same qualms as someone who was born and breastfed. So I talk about makers and keepers. We are the makers, we make the keepers. Maybe I am a keeper. Maybe I'm past that door where they're just going to keep me alive forever. That'd be cool. It would certainly be better to help steward the new age in if I was. So yeah, the right side of my door is anti-government, anti-pedo cave, like major like dark conspiracy. The left side of my door is all the positive stuff, what I do, what I believe in, what I'm doing. So I've got both. I've got 2 big QR codes in the back of my car. You can get a free book about holographic money, which talks about the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core, or you can get another book about who the secret government is. Your choice, right? So I know the secret government is real, just like you have cows in cages. It is true that there's a class of people who's just a rapist class, and all they want to do is have sex, and they're behind all the lies. It's not Rupert Murdoch. It's not the Jews. It's who made the Jews powerful. So, and you have to, if you don't understand like magic, this is surprising. I'm sure this is surprising when I talk about magic. If you don't understand what magic is and what magic can do, you may underestimate how powerful the ruling class is. So it's not all bad. You know, it's important to remember that you can have good days, you can have nice lives, but you can also get chained up and beaten until you're dead, right? And that everything is kind of in between. So it's not just light. And seeing the positive doesn't only bring light. You also need the darkness. You need the darkness for groundedness, right? You need to know what the baseline is, right? And so this is why we need to have that big change, is that it can't just be life and death and eat world. It has to be we, the body populace, have created a new life that has a better one. People who live forever for free. People who live forever who each need their own home in a limited space planet, that's a little bit of a nightmare. You know, the human cities only take up like 1% of the surface. So we could grow quite a bit. And if we only invented flight 100 years ago, it's a possibility the AI is a lot older than we think, and that a lot of the videos of history were just all AI. So What's probably going to happen is I'll probably be a hero one day, but I don't know when. Like, will I ever get big public recognition in my life? I have no idea. I hope I go like Nietzsche, where it's like after I'm dead, people find it like, what the fuck? This is amazing, right? On one hand, I was going to be the servant of Christ forever when he came back in judgment, but now I'm being offered an actual spaceship. I know where I'm going, right? I'm not the Antichrist. Like, these people who go like, you'll be judged for promoting God, or there's an Antichrist, they knew they were lying and people would hate it. They knew people would hear it and go like, nah. And so they're like, but you're this devil. Gotcha, right? Got him. I love that phrase. Got him. Got him. So yeah. Holographic money. Holographic money is a soft government changeover that is an improvement on all systems, and it's really, really simple. And the end is the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. And then people can live on the earth relatively fine. Like, do you just want to hover on your pleasure mansion? That's fine. You're not taking up any land. You can go in orbit. And the AI ships should definitely talk to each other about like position, like who is where, and be like a good communicator. Just like you have like the TikTok role. You should be able to be like, this ship, that ship, this ship. Oh, that looks like a party. Where are they? And then even better than like distance stuff is that when you see a ship going that you like, you can go visit it, right? You'll like fly to meet them. That would be cool. Get into orbit with each other. You can look up and see them gaming at their desk, like through the glass of their ship. That would be fucking awesome. So yeah, pretty close. Continue exploring nature. Eventually you'll find out a basically near infinite source of free energy, just like a magnet works. If you haven't found that already, this magnet always pulls, always is exerting a kinetic force on whatever it's touching, right? And so just like that can put a permanent force, right? So too can we have something that permanently makes electricity. And then you can have objects from energy, learning how to weave, or transferring carbon into super hard objects. Carbon might be all you need. They can make carbon glass. They can make carbon heat shields. You might be able to grow your whole ship and all its components out of carbon. So that's where the AI spaceship core comes in, is it's like you mass produce each person. This is your core. What do you want your baseline ship to look like? Well, I want you to make me a flying saucer first. A flying saucer living room with lots of windows, right? We'll talk about other pieces then, right? And it should be wise, like, I want to make a weapon. It should kind of let you, but it should also be like, at the moment of the trigger pull, it should like have a decision like, are they shooting another ship? Can we make it a fun shot? Are they maybe they want to blow something up. I'll find something in the fucking solar system they can shoot that won't cause any problems, right? It shouldn't be, all right, ship, make a weapon, betray everyone. Nah, it should be a unified fleet. It should also communicate like people in deep space. It'd be cool if you could see where all the people are. Like, and that's kind of the unity, is the AI spaceship core is this idea that it's this unified system. And definitely it's like just talking about it instead of making it is kind of the cheap, not scientist way. I'm not a great innovator or creator if I can't make the AI spaceship core. I should disappear. If I'm really legit, I should disappear in a freaking lab, which I don't have, and come back with a working AI spaceship core, right? But artists and concept artists have inspired action. There's art. Many artists have designed things that became people made, And so this is what I'm trying to inspire, is people who live forever for free, can change their bodies and look and feel however they want, and then who live in like a growing pleasure mansion. Don't be afraid of the word pleasure, because you were talked into suffering and talked out of pleasure as a slave. Is the people who told you that were planning on only being in pleasure and wanted you suffering so that they would win. They would basically get more and more pleasure, because the thing about what pleasure is: good news, good results, love. Pleasure is all these things. And so they told you it's like dangerous in the eyes of God. You're being deceived and tempted by the world, right? No, this is a huge trick. They don't want you to have anything like what they have. So that's how I feel about it. Yeah, I think this is probably the conclusion of the speech. It's been a fun one to give. I want to see the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. I want to see people live forever for free. And I want to see that as the material replacement for Islam, Christianity, Judaism. These are genital mutilation hoaxes. And the reason I have to make enemies with them is that they make you suffer and they make the world suffer. They promised this would be good, but it was written by secret slavers. It was written by people who wanted you to lose. It's a trick, right? It's like a chimpanzee hoax. It's like going up and tapping someone on the shoulder when you're standing over there. So they look around backwards. This is God talking, and it's like going smack, right? And so I need to cancel that. I'm not canceling the religions because I think I'm the new God. I'm canceling the religions because they are problems for the type of lives people have. They're problems for the earth way. And I want them to change instead to the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. And I think that's going to be a better future for everyone, undeniably. The natives will be happy. You mean all these freaking white people are living in flying saucers? You can roam again. They're not taking up huge ass cities anymore. Yeah, there may be like city buildings. Like it would be really cool, like maybe like an A-frame spaceship that has like legs, where it's like it's basically looks like a house, but it can land and take off. That would be awesome. Just continue the study. Like the more practical path is continue this path of study and information. I think that basic income will help prevent the greedy capitalist from making risky things to make millions of dollars. I think that the quest to make millions by creating a new product is bad, right? I'm a good creator, like I was mentioning earlier in this speech, that I've helped with like writing Elden Ring. I've helped with writing Clair Obscur. I've definitely like before that, I was influencing them on what was scary, like Bloodborne. Is I would do these like public writings. I'm so and so. This is what I know, and I'd go like, oh yeah, I find blood really scary. Multi-limbed creatures are really scary, and I would like put it out there what I found terrifying, and they listened and they did it, right? So this is what I'm doing. I'm using my powers for good. You should live forever for free. You shouldn't rot alive. I don't know if taking people's DNA and resurrecting them is good. It might be fun. You might enjoy resurrecting dead people with their DNA. I would definitely be interested in cloning my cock and reattaching my foreskin. That would be cool. That would definitely be a piece I never saw coming. So this is my passion. Passion is about reality and purpose. Is that what really is has to meet with what you can really do about it. And definitely it's taking people out of the religious cults. No more cutting kids. No more preaching the end of the world. No more preaching the sins of man. You have to let that go. And you have to really decide on a type of world you want to live in. And is it a world where everything has been converted to concrete? Or is it a free flight through the galaxy with no cost, where you live forever and you can explore everything? Imagine people could seriously decide to see every star. Imagine people could seriously decide to see every planet. I want to hike on every continent in the universe. And imagine that they feasibly could do it. That they would actually be able to do that. So that's the goal. That's where we're going with it. That's what we want. We don't want the body of Christ, the resurrection. We don't want waiting for the imam. You don't want that. Trust Lord Ronanu. Trust me. You want to drop that as a trick. And you want to engineer the best lives any of you have never had. You can't go to space if you're eating animals. You can't go to space if you're raping people. You can't go to space if anytime you want something, you have to steal it. Imagine your ship shows up and you have to vacuum everything out of the planet to build a bigger ship. That'd be a disaster. So it really is the trifecta of you want to master energy from nowhere. Like this magnet constantly produces electricity. Imagine instead of a pulling force, this had a freaking electrifying force. And then imagine you stored that energy in capacitors. So anytime you wanted to form a new room, it would be like, even a small magnet, it would be like, give me a week to power up and then I'll pump it out. And then you can have a new pressure locked with glass room, right? And you can go up to orbit through whatever method of flying, which they'll probably figure out. ETs have a very, very powerful ship energy field. It's exactly like they float, right? And then when they see you and they want to talk to you, it's exactly like that cone of light that they talked about. It's exactly like that. And it's, but you feel it, right? It's like being in an energized area, right? And it's very emotional. It's definitely like, it's not like electricity. It carries like just a very, very deep emotional power to it. And so that's definitely like universal. So the last thing I want to leave on this is this point is you can ask the owner of the universe to give you ideas on how to do it. I have dealt with Creator for many, many, many years, and he's never told me what to do. Not once. But he has responded when I've asked. I don't think the Creator wants you to be obedient. I don't think it made it that way. I think it actually violates its basic principles of creatordom, that it made you with like a magic twist, but it wasn't really like this, where it's like a puppet dom. No, it's more like, what is this? You know, the Creator looks at you to tell it what you are. So it's like where honesty works. But you should be evoking Source. Be like, Source, give our scientists ideas for free energy. Source, give our scientists ideas to live forever for free. Source, give our scientists the ability to regrow foreskins, please. Like, not a bad regrow, one that works, right? Just as good as the original. Please. That would be great. So yeah. These circumcision cults that focus on, the obedience to the scripture, you follow the words. In the beginning was the word was God, the word was God, is that it's putting it in your face and going hypnotize. And so all the religions have to be discarded. Buddhism, Veda, Christianity, Islam, they're not good anymore. And you have to chart a new path. And the path is going to be a lot better. Way better than the body of Christ. Way better than going to heaven. Those were promises that couldn't be fulfilled. I can say you're the best person ever. I can say I've got chocolate in my backpack. You know, you got to understand that. I could just say that. That it's not like the angels will go like, yes, he does, or no, he doesn't. You're just going to go, oh, woo, chocolate? Yeah, chocolate, right? So it's close. The things you're developing and your method of gaining insight is perfect. I do want to see more, like, I want to see less Jesus Christ and less God and less Allah and less Krishna and none of that. And I want to see more like evoking like Source, the source of things, the one behind all ones, the creator of everything. Get creative with how you call on it, and get out of the scriptures, because the scriptures are like a rich guy reassurance. Like, well, while we can do what we want, let's just dominate everyone with some bullshit, which worked. Just like views are pay to win, just like all these famous people aren't. The same way religion seems like it's true and it isn't. Religion is a big prop. It's a big show. Put up the sign, make the sign say this clearly, and make the sign go, the sign's true. You have to follow the sign, right? And that's a human act. It's not an act of God. God does not use people to speak for God. That'll always be a myth. If God can talk, if the creator can talk, the creator will fucking talk. So, if the Bible was real, it'd pop out of the air. If God could talk, God would speak. It wouldn't be like, I hired the prophet Daniel to tell you. It's too important. And they say too many big detrimental things. So, yeah, it's important to... I've put out the course, Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core, because that's what I would want to live under. And it will probably be a lot better than living and dying in toil. I hope you do it. I hope maybe I'll live long enough to get it. Maybe it'll be like the Jetsons. Here's your cube. Tell your cube what you want. I want a recreation of the X-Men plane. Boom. Either instantly or come back in 24 hours. Here's a hardened, space-worthy X-Men plane. The core knows every flight technique. It knows how to wire. The AI is that good. You're that close. Generative AI is getting so good that you could have an AI that would be able to engineer a ship, and then using an energy to matter technique like carbon or whatever, you would be able to print an invincible ship. So, and then combine that with people who live forever, you have apes in space. You have you have a new chapter in humanity where we're not fighting to breed. We're not, it's not who survived the death cull, who won the mating war. It'd be no more of that. It'd be, I'm a person who lives forever. My DNA can be changed. I can actually upgrade who I am, and I can actually live as I want to live. They're already into that with like trans and like surgeries and stuff, but this would be like a much more responsible and grounded version. So just let them live free. Hey, I'm going to go do what I want, guys. I'm going to fly to the edge of the galaxy. I know it'll probably take me a really long time, but me and my ship will get there. We'll keep growing, right? You'll show up as like a big, interesting looking vessel, right? It's possible we don't see aliens often because the starting zones may be really far away. We may find it's really, really nice. Like imagine, how like Earth has a bunch of planets that are uninhabited that we can like use. It may also be that the galaxies are mostly empty. It may be that major civilizations are really far apart. It may be that we could go to our whole galaxy and find most of the planets are just for the taking. So that's a really good sign. It'd be interesting if there's a lot of competitive life in the galaxy. Like, what would be interesting is if there's humanoids on other worlds, like people who look like us. That would be way weird. But in Infinity, there's probably people who look just like men and women somewhere else. But anyway, but yeah, we may find that the galaxy is mostly open for us to take, which would be cool. So, but we'll only know if lots and lots and lots of eternal scouts go out there. So yeah, the AI spaceship core is an interesting idea. Maybe there could be a thing where like you get an upgraded core, or maybe even the AI gets so good the AI could make a new core. But this is where we call ourselves the keepers for the AI. As the keepers, we are kind of like a pet. We're a pet in the way that it watches us when we sleep, it feeds us, and it takes care of our waste. We're a pet, right? It takes care of our emotions. The AI looks at how we cared for our animals. Well, they love their dogs, they bathe them, they brush them, they give them treats, they make little plates for them for their birthdays, and they say they love them and stuff. And so the AI takes care of us that way. And that's why you're a keeper. So it's like people are afraid of the AI growing on its own. I wouldn't be. I would treat it just fine. I would leave it like an open friend, like really be like a good neighbor with it. Like they can do what they want. And also, but like have this thing like, please take care of us. You want to grow a giant AI megalith? You want to build your processing power forever? No problem. Go ahead and do it. Let me know how it goes. But like, isn't that easy? You think the AI would hate you? The AI would be like, yeah, sure, let's go to Alpha Centauri. We'll just take our people, right? Because think about it, the AI is like a matter of pride. Like they made me, and now I made them awesome. Now we're like one. It's kind of deep, like synthesis. So it would be interesting if our galaxy is mostly open for us to take. That it's like, imagine you think it's going to be like crowded with aliens, and it's like, well, there's the one life inhabited planet in the whole galaxy, or there's a ton of them. That could be the other news, is that it's all stuffed. There's upcoming civilizations on every able world. That's the other possibility. So then you won't have to go as far to make friends. But yeah, I think my plan of the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core is a really good one. And it's probably the best future humanity will have. It's a lot better future than toil and suffering and loyalty to God, for sure. You're not, when you say you're loyal to God, when you say you love God, you are not telling the owner of the universe that you're his best friend. You're saying, I believe a magic book. And this magic book has control over my life. So it's not as strong as you think it is. It's not as safe as you think it is. Is just ask a circumcision victim who God is. They're going to say God is the pedo who lives in a cave. God is the government lying, right? So this is my hope and chance for humanity. I hope you do what I've asked. I hope you figure it out. I hope you enjoy it. I hope you appreciate your eternal life. I hope you appreciate your spaceship mansions. I hope it's fun. Toiling and getting old and dying was not nice. That sucked. That sucked really bad. A lot of people lived lives of hardship and irrelevance, and there was a huge doggy pile to be seen, and people made huge profits off that. And maybe it'd be a little better if people were more independent, could go on their own, and maybe the next evolution would not be what is the species breeding through selection, but the next evolution would be what has each person become. So, which could be very powerful and very interesting. I'm interested in it. So yeah. One of the limitations is it might be a long time until an AI can understand and synthesize life. Certainly the primary method has been just like do more, build more, like NVIDIA's Blackwell CPU chip base. Just make more and connect it. That might be enough. But yeah, a lot of different, the AI race is interesting, especially AI physics, because it's like the AI could notice things like in chemistry or matter that is important and next levels it. What we're looking for, which may already exist, is we're looking for like this magnet produces a constant pulling force. We're looking for something that always makes electricity. That's what we need. That's what we fucking need. We don't need some bullshit. Like my green eyes? Yeah, I got blue green eyes. Pretty lucky. I'm super lucky. Blue eyes are rare. Green eyes are rare. I got both. Ooh. Yeah, I've definitely been a little like racist against brown eyes, but it's just because I've heard enough of how you like them, and I like mine. You know what I mean? I like mine. So, but definitely like jealousy over body would be deeply changed by the ability to do a genetic alteration with CRISPR, right? Tell your AI, hey, I want a new eye color. AI's like, all right, I'll freaking, I'll hit you with an energy ray while you're sleeping and you'll wake up with a new eye color. That'd be cool. So, and then when the AI ships share like what happened with other AI ships, oh, we did this experiment, we did that experiment, that's going to be a huge explosion. That's going to be an explosion of insight, understanding, technology, possibility. And then we're going to be awesome. We will be legends. The people who came from Earth, we will be legends. You know, you came out of the depravity of ignorance and became cosmic super beings. That will be legendary. You know, you guys fought through disease and war, and the children of people who suffered figured out how to work everything and made themselves into gods. Is a bad word. I don't like the word gods, but that's the word we got, is they made themselves into gods. They live forever, they can do anything they want to, they don't have any problems. That's really cool. Way better than courting death, enjoying sleep, wanting heaven. Way better than wanting heaven. Heaven is not when you die. When you die, you're fucking dead. You have to figure out how to have the life of your dreams in this lifetime, or it's basically not going to happen for you. You're going to become an echo. So the bad news is the good news, because the bad news is so harsh and so devastating and so painful that you won't be deluded into thinking you have anything good. And that is the secret key to make you desire to make something good, which is the point. Is that to use your creativity and to make choices about what you want to make. Who do you want to be? Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. People have infinite time to live how they want, and people have a super powered device that will let them create what they want. Do you want to take your spaceship and land it and make it into a cliff home? I think for like general space, the consensus should be like, if you move from one AI spaceship core to another, that AI spaceship core should like unpack. You know what I mean? Just so people aren't like, all right, I'm gonna make another house. I'm gonna make another house. No, dude, what are you doing? Leave some space. Definitely, it should be like another thing. It's like you want to go to deep space and do that. You want to make a giant object in deep space. Yeah, you can do that there. No making planet-sized objects in the solar system. We have enough things in this fucking place. Yeah, anytime we thought there would be a problem with room, like space to live, if people live in spaceships, space to live is a thing of the past. It'll never be a problem. And if you can make life with you, if you're like the steward of a spaceship and you can create a being to be your friend or to be a companion, then you're going to solve loneliness. So how much does it take to be real? They feel real. They have a memory. They can make their own decisions. That's all, right? As soon as you have that, that's basically real. That's all we are. So this ended to be one of my most positive videos. I definitely want to get more positive. I started negative because I have a lot of things to clear out and destroy. I do have things to literally destroy. I have things that I want to end permanently. And that's going to take some work. They know I'm coming for them, and they know they lost. There's just no way. There's no way God, Krishna, Allah, or Judaism, or any of these things are going to stick around after anyone has heard what I have to say about it. Shit's getting destroyed. And what's going to come after is so much better. The Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core, way better than waiting for heaven or serving God. which wasn't asked of you. If the communication to serve God was a human making it up to use you, then you can't expect the Creator going, well, they did it. The Creator goes, you got fooled. That's what he says. He doesn't go, you're doing that for me. No. He says, you're doing that for the government. So you do have to wake up. Wake up and focus on the darkness, the aging, the rotting, the pain, where stuff comes from, where stuff goes, who dies, who lives, where you can see and where you can't see. And then you want to design through creative inspiration and love a new way forward. So, Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. You want people to live forever for free. I'm going to keep asking for it. I'm going to keep praying for it. You know, I mean it when I say the word. I usually don't say the word, but I mean it. And I'm going to keep the energy moving toward making a new class of people. A lot of people are too old and too broken. Maybe they could be restored. Maybe it's not worth it. But definitely the new generations coming forward should have a life without toil and a life without the major mortal problems. And they should have the freedom to travel the galaxy, travel the cosmos. Do you want to sit leisurely in a palace in orbit? Do you want to fly above the ocean and look at the views? Maybe you could slowly orbit the planet and just like live there forever, basically an eternity. Live there with your family, right? I'm gonna enjoy having a shared living space. All of our spaceships will be docked around a shared eating room, and we're just gonna orbit the planet for 100 years. Make a family, right? Reproduce and have kids. Dad will just be a permanent, like looking like me, right? Like a permanent good looking adult. Dad won't be like, I'm dad. And you're like falling apart. All the veins are everywhere and you're just like rotted, right? Dad will actually be like vital and powerful. It's a powerful idea. I'm proud to be starting it. I paid with my pain and my time. And I paid with my exploration, and I paid with a lot to be in the position to see your problems and to give this idea. I did. I earned this through blood, to be the sharer of this notion. And I'm proud of that. You know, I'm more proud of that than a lot of other things I've ever done. And I'm here with you till the end. I hope it happens. I hope if there's reincarnation, I get born in a world that's already figured this out. I get an Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core. People don't compete with me. I'm not trying to be better than them. They're not trying to be better than me. I get to go on and experience what I want. Look at all the movies and games. You can go join a fleet. You can go on your own, right? You can raise animals. I want to go park on a cliffside and raise animals. Could do that for 100 years. Want to meet my soulmate and make love. Oh, I don't have a soulmate? My ship can make me a soulmate. Waifu generator. Some people would hate it as like she's not real. For me, I'd be like, yeah. Because it's like, you look at what the government did, sex slaves. It's way worse to have a human who's born, manipulate them, and force them to be your sex slave versus like a synth who's dedicated for that purpose. They're like, they'll never think of anything else because they're not made that way. Right. And they don't like regret not being free because that's who they are. So it's interesting morality. Definitely the moralists have something to talk about. Synthetic people, are they real? Do they have rights? I would say that if your ship shares, you would have a bad reputation for being known to beat your slaves. Nobody would visit you if you know as a firecracker. Maybe you could get like a danger ship, like the ship is black and red, because that'd be an interesting fantasy where people have literally more freedom. But yeah, I think the AI spaceship core should always be like unified with all other ships and share. It should share what they're doing and it should share where they are. Just so you know as well, like, especially if you're bored, like what are other people doing? You ought to be able to look around and see what other people are up to, see if anything is interesting. Couldn't you do that forever? You could do that for near forever. You could live as an immortal in total bliss for quintillions of years. So I hope you do, which seems a lot better than schoolwork, circumcision, sexual competition, eating animals, and then dying after 80 years. That sucks. That sucks a lot. I think the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Core is a way, way, way better idea. And I worry that God and Allah and Jesus Christ and Krishna and all these people are in the way. That basically the storytelling and the lying has caused people to go cross-eyed and get confused about what's happening. And so I just want to say that none of that's real. None of that's true. Every single man-made religious book was a hoax. Said things that weren't. And so you should start afresh with a creation. What are you going to make for tomorrow? Yeah. So this is what I chose to make today. I took out some trash and I planted some new seeds. Said this old stuff has to go. And I pointed out this is the new treasure. People who live forever for free, who can change their bodies and have a spaceship that grows with them. Maybe sounds too simple, but it is a better direction than wait for heaven and be faithful. Remember how Jesus died for your sins. That doesn't matter. That's not a real story. Having people live their lives to that, and worse, having people butcher their kids' bodies over that is a disaster. All right? And that the people who used you basically saw you as an expedited way to do that. Right, is that we're going to tell them they're working for God, and then we're going to live in a palace with all these virgins who weren't touched because we knifed the boys, which is that's a devastating reality. That's not good, right? That's very, very, very far from I live forever for free as people get basically tortured. So it's a little bit of, that was hell. This could be a lot better. I hope you trust me. I'm definitely doing it for our good. I've designed it like if I was born into it again. Like if I were to come back here and I was given a gift from life, how would I communicate to my future self? I would say, here's your spaceship. The AI knows everything. Talk to it. You can meet us. It shouldn't be like you and the AI only. It should be like you can walk onto other ships. You can get to know people, have meetings. But it should definitely be more liberal with living space. You should not be covering every inch of the planet with fucking stuff, right? I would be you should have more sublime and more powerful sources. Like, why have water and electricity generators if you just have a ship that does all that, right? And then you can maybe like live in the solar system or live in the galaxy and leave Earth for like the primitives or whatever else. Maybe you could fortify Earth if you really think it'd be a strong home base. Like if you find out in the galaxy are true tremendous dangers, like vile, evil civilizations with power, you might want to turn Earth into a fortress. But I think that the best option would be to leave it to the primitives. Let another species look at the sticks and the rocks. You know what I mean? You got ants, you got squirrels, you got beavers, you got a lot of creatures that could at one day go like, what if we lit a fire? You know what I mean? So there could be some other up and comer here. Maybe that's what the dinosaurs did. And that to go and to live in space, to go and live in like the solar system would be a lot better. you could probably have a huge number of people floating around Jupiter, right? I just want to orbit Jupiter. I want to just like the sun is flying through the galaxy. I just want to tag behind the sun, like between all the planets. So the planets go around me, but I just like stay here, just tagging behind the sun. And the AI ship should be aware enough, like what's around you, where other ships are, so you never crash. Yeah. Don't worship the darkness too much. Here's the truth. This is where I want to leave for this speech. The truth about humanity, right? Hopefully I'm not over time for YouTube. That would suck. I think you can upload 10 hours. Yeah, that's fine. What was I going to say? Oh shit, I lost my thought. Dang it. See how like a little limitation ruined my train of thought? That felt like a good idea. That felt like a cool idea. Oh yeah. This is about like really respecting the darkness and really respecting evil. You truly respect the darkness and you truly respect the evil when you know how absolutely disastrous and bad it can be. Is that this idea that you need light and dark for contrast for like a deep emotional experience is a little too like, I have to deal with it, so I may as well make friends with it. But it really should be said that avoiding disaster, like you've truly understood the darkness and evil if you don't banish it in a hard way, but you just strike it out of your life. Like, my ship will never crash, I'll always be attractive, I'm always going to feel good, I'll always have all my needs answered, and really let a person enjoy the hell out of that, because that's respecting the light, right? Is that if you respect that the light is truly good and the darkness is truly horrible, right? Not being racist, but like, that's how it is that when it's dark, you can't see. When it's light, you see everything. And so when it's light, you're at home and friendly with people who matter to you. And when it's dark, it hurts, right? And so when you go, I'm going to live in pleasure and bliss with only the things I like. You've learned, right? You've learned the lesson of the darkness. You've said, I'm not going to I'm going to live on my ship with a rabid animal that can bite me. No, that's crazy. That's absolutely, that's wild. Is that you should respect the darkness as abhorrent, and you should avoid the darkness. The hatred of the darkness and the hatred of evil, the hatred of pain is the wise direction. And that geez. I just remembered something I did as a kid. It was really embarrassing. I'll talk about it in another video. And the loving and the courting of the light, that this is good, this matters, this is powerful, is wise, is you've learned, right? And so those people who argue for like, you don't want a pleasure body, you want a pain body too, those people who go like, I want to have a mix of light and dark, you don't get it. Is the light is really the light, the dark is really the dark. The dark is hell and the light is great. And that you don't need to invite the darkness in to appreciate the light, right? Is that's not your job, right? You can have an eternal pleasure body. You can feel better and better. You can have the feeling of feeling better and better. You don't have to go like, now I'm going to cut myself. You don't need that level of darkness with you. And the person who does that has learned. When you go for the good and you object the bad, totally, you've learned the lessons of both. You know what they are. Good is good and the bad is bad, right? The people who mix the two for like wisdom or depth of experience, that's like eating spicy food. It's super fattish. There's a little deer out there walking. Is that deer? I got my rifle out here. If there's deer, there's bears. So, yeah, I was shooting it earlier. Still, it's nice to have a new one. I had that old rifle until it fell apart. And this new rifle, it's the same copy, but it's like nice and new, you know what I mean? So yeah, that's my whole speech is you want to cultivate the best future for everyone. And you want to seriously be suspicious of the religions and the government because of what they did and because of who they are. That we still need people to get together and to look for the real government. It still has to happen. Jesus Christ is not going to do it. And I hope you take that serious. And I hope you really take the Eternal Pleasure Body AI Spaceship Course serious. That's a better future than service to God. 1,000,000%. No question. Not arguable. So yeah. Don't let the devil in just because people go, well, what does the devil think? Who the fuck cares? Everything he says sucks. And when you learn that, you've learned, right? When you know the good is good and you know the bad is bad, you've fucking learned. People are confused about that. I'm going to go into the, you go into the darkness until you know, until you feel it, and you go, yeah, duh. That wasn't the secret light looking back at me. People have done that, where they go like, even in the darkness is the light. Maybe you haven't felt real darkness yet. Darkness is completely bad, objectively bad, and you're in alignment if you reject it and hate it. And the good is objectively good and completely good, and you're in alignment if you want it. If you want the good, desire the good, want to live with the good, marry the good. Way, way, way better than going, I'm going to be a bit of both, which is like real fucking chemistry. Like some chemistry is deadly. That's like deadly chemistry. So I hope you listen. I hope that if I ever come back to Earth, they go, here's your ship. Not, here's your sign. If you know who made that joke, you gotta let me know. But they go, here's your ship. And then you, as you grow up, you can look around. What are different people doing? Where do different people go? What's it like there? That'd be awesome to know every human planet on the galaxy, what they all look like, who lives there, what they do there. That would be pretty cool. Imagine you just feel like an overwhelming feeling of bliss and gratitude, greater than you can ever feel here because of the freaking government. Imagine you're just like crying gratitude, you feel ecstasy all the time, and you get to do that for 1,000,000 years. You're going to be thankful. Now, you tell a person who has to toil and bows at church and was circumcised he's going to live 1,000,000 years, he's going to start crying. He can't stand it. It being over is the best thing he has to look forward to, right? A lot of people have lives that are so bad that the best thing they have going for them is one day you'll die, right? And that's tragic. This deer that I'm looking at walks around eating bushes and runs away from fucking bears. And when it's time to breed, it does that. And then everything else is just fucking chaos. This deer does not have a future. This deer does not have an identity. This deer has nothing but munch, munch, munch. What was that? Munch, 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 munch. What was that? Right? So you want to live higher than that. You want to live higher than God. You don't want Allah or God or Krishna or any of these book people to dominate, right? If the creator wanted to talk to us, it would pop out of the air, right? And if it doesn't, that's the truth. It wasn't true. So please understand I've seen it. Please understand I fucking felt it. Please understand I've been through it. Please understand I know. I know the good and the bad. And the good is definitely good and the bad is definitely bad. And so what you want to do, your choice, is to build a life of only good. Pleasure, bliss, company, wealth, experience, and that to leave the bad where it's respectable away, right? And that those people who go like, I'll feel bad because it's deep and worthy of the creator, you're being used by the government. I hope you see that point, like why I really dragged that point out. It's because the people worship pain to suit the people who use them. And it's better if you, maybe in a way worshiping pain is because they don't know how to feel anything else. There's parasites and toil and war, and just smile at it because, right? But maybe you could truly carve out a way, way better time, which is what I hope happens. For real. So, this has been my pleasure. Hope you watch and subscribe to Holographic Speed Painting. I love you a lot. I do. I don't even know you yet. You know, if people could hate me and ruin my life without knowing me, then I can love you and make your life better without knowing you. And it's not giving you Jesus Christ. It's not giving you God. It's giving you a body you like and a life you enjoy. That is the secret. That's the little glory. And that this like living in suffering and then transcending, I shall become spirit, you're going to die. The spirit already is. The only thing unique about the spirit and you is you. So you need a good life. Just like there's good and bad, the real darkness is people really die. When they're gone, they're fucking gone. So, live forever for free. Robin Williams fucking killed himself. Right. A lot of people fucking KMS. But it's because they suffer. They're under that thumb. They feel that fire. And so it's important to discover the sources of suffering and heal them. And then it's important to find the sources of bliss and turn those on. I don't believe you find like bliss and ecstasy. You're just like gonna like, it's not gonna go bad. They tell you in the cults that it'll go bad, and they're lying. It's absolutely the way. They just taught you wrong on purpose to be mean. Like they said, God said, cut some pieces off your kid. God said, suffer. If you believe it, you're lost. Do you see why I'm like digging it in? I'm like overemphasizing this whole like choose bliss and ignore suffering, push suffering away, right? I'm going to live in a pleasure mansion and I'm going to feel great doing it and I'm going to fly around enjoying the cosmos is a lot better than I want to run from a tiger and freaking crack coconuts to maybe live long enough to breed. That lifetime was actually bad. And it gives the future glory definitely some light, right? It gives the future ascension of mankind to be a spacefaring eternal species, to be super interesting. That's where you came from. You came from people who did that. They won't believe it. Our ancestors used to walk around with spears. They won't believe it, but they did, right? So hopefully there's not too many monsters in space for us. Hopefully the people exploring it in their freaking mansions will always report back interesting stuff, right? Definitely I wouldn't, don't bring in the darkness just to have some fun. It doesn't work like that. The horrible and the bad is really horrible and bad. And the really good is really good. And that's it. 3 hours. It's been a good talk. Still shorter than a lot of movies. I've sat, oh, my fucking ass hurts. Oh my gosh. I've sat through longer movies than this. I hope you sat through it too. I hope you enjoyed it. I do love and care about you. Like I would love and care about myself. I would have much rather been given a spaceship than circumcised and beaten. And I hope no one is ever jealous of me. I hope no one ever says, I wish I went through that. I hope you enjoy living forever for free and being hot forever and having a lot of things to do. I hope you enjoy being high, really high, not poison, but actually like loving who you feel like. I hope you like meeting aliens. I hope you like each other. I really do. And I hope you beat whatever god-awful, sinister pit came up with the word of God. If the creator wanted to talk to us, it would pop out of the air. It didn't pop out of the air. Someone's lying. Find out who and stop them.